Can you hear me now? Am I there? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Am I audible to all the people in the world? Can you hear me completely? Am I in? Still no sound? Yay. Is that yes? No sound. No sound at all. Yes. Hang on. Some are saying yes, some are saying no. Right, you're saying yes, you can hear me. Now there is... Right, I don't know what happened, but something happened and it was broken, so there you go. Hey! Welcome. Yeah, somebody's going to win that sticker, aren't you? Oh, well. Welcome, everybody. I'll start again, shall I? Hang on. Let me just... Oh, it's all gone wrong now. It wouldn't be one of my shows if it didn't go completely wrong. Right. Hey, everybody, and welcome to Warhammer Sunday. It's Sunday. Another week has gone by. We're a week older. We've got nothing to show for it. Well, probably not much, not in my case. Another week has gone by. Now, we do have some new people. Ooh, Dude Guy McPants, $5. Boomer moment. Thank you very much, Dude Guy McPants. That's very kind of you. Yes, I don't know what happened there. Ooh, you took 765 health off Aviad. Nice. Yes, welcome. It's my Warhammer Sunday. Now, we have got some new people in the chat. Zed Power says, sorry, actually, I was muted too. Oh, dear. Oh, well. Spoon. Right. Oh. Now Chris Smith says, ooh, a bad sound. Wait, have we still got audio issues? Do tell me, because I don't know. I can't hear the stream. Right. So yes, welcome to Warhammer Sunday. If you've not seen one of these before, I'll get all the spiel out at the start. I'll get it out now, because I know we've got some new members in the chat, and welcome to you. This is my weekend Warhammer nonsense. Basically, during the week I do my normal builds. And then at the weekend I work on basically Warhammer stuff or stuff for my own Warhammer army, the unending forces of the Holy Contrivance, my Mobile Suit Gundam Principality of Xeon themed Imperial army. Excuse me. And I just crack on with it. Weekend is my Warhammer time. I either work for my army or something else, and I figured a while ago I may as well just do a little bit of a live stream and hang out with you guys while I'm farting about with my army. So we just hang out for 2 or 3 hours. You guys hang out in the chat and have a good time. I try and get some work done and generally don't get much done at all. We do some sticker giveaways. We have the wheel of giveaways where you can win a fine prize. Now, if you remember from last week, the prize was the Real Grade Gundam Mark II AEUG. This is what we're playing for today. So today we're going to pick a winner for that. Yes. And then we'll pick a new prize in the wheel of giveaways. That'll go away next week. Now, if you have won a prize, but if you're waiting for a prize or a sticker and you're not familiar with this, don't panic if you win a prize or a sticker and then it takes 3 or 4 weeks to get to you. What I tend to do is pile up all the stickers and prizes, because I only go to the post office maybe once or twice a month. And right now I'm completely skint anyway, so I'll be waiting to the end of the month before I need to go to the post office, and then I'll get all the prizes and stickers out. I'll do them all in one big batch rather than going backwards and forwards to the post office many times each week. So I tend to pile them all up for the month and then send them out at the end of the month, the start of the next month. So if you're waiting for a prize, I know one of you's waiting for the Carrion Throne and there's some stickers to go out. Don't panic too much. Alex Geis says, for the Facebook advice on chipping the other week. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. You will have just taken down Aviad's health even more. Let's see when it does come through. Waiting. Come on. Price. There we go. 765 again. Yeah. People take note how much health goes off for 765. How much health goes off for $5. Now, if you are wondering what that is, this up here, and you've not seen one of these before, this is the stream boss battle. Lovely fellow Aviad Madar is currently the stream boss, and he started out with 100,000 health. He knocked me off the stream boss spot. And basically, whoever is the stream boss starts with 100,000 health. And what you guys do is you can knock his health down. And you can do so by doing super chats, as you've seen a couple already, or you can do a tip to the tip jar, which is streamlabs.com/model making guru down here. Or if you're not subscribed to this channel already, you can take a little bit of a health off just by subscribing and clicking the notification bell. That will also take a little bit of the health off. And the way it works is that each time you do one of those 3 things, so a super chat, a tip, or you subscribe, it takes a bit of that health off. If you get him down to 0, and you are the person that did that, you will win basically all the money that's gone in through all the super chats and tips and everything else. Basically, you're in line to win 200 to 300 quid's worth of gear, 200 to 300 quid's worth of Warhammer gear of your choice. Now, when Aviad became the stream boss a few weeks ago, he won 280 quid's worth of Warhammer kits. He got the Knights Renegade, the Renegade Knights set. He got the entire Killzone set. My chat is doing something weird. He got himself the entire Killzone set. He got some extra cards. The Killzone? Yeah, Killzone. Some extra cards for the Killzone and some other bits and bobs. So he got himself almost 300 quid worth of stuff. So get working. Get doing your super chats. Get doing your tips at the tip thing. And get subscribing. And gradually, you'll get his health down. Now take note, as I say, how much one of those super chats just took his health off. $5 did 765. You do the math, you realise how much you need to do. It might change, it does change occasionally, so don't assume it's always the same amount. It can vary. And don't forget, of course, you might not know this, but Aviad can actually give himself health boosts. He can put tips or super chats through and put his health back up again, just to mess with your chi. He can completely mess with you by putting his health back up if he wants. Doesn't have to. But if he's a bit evil, he can do a tip or a super chat and put his health back up and just make life a little harder for you guys. So do join in. Anyway, that's all the opening spiel. So welcome, welcome, welcome. We shall have a quick look and see who's in the chat over here on my little iPad. A bit of a panic before we started. Not only was the microphone not working, the batteries in my iPad keyboard went, and I'm like, oh, flipping heck. So let's have a look and see who we have in. So we have, if I can get back to the top, we're quite busy in the chat today. It's very warm in here today for some reason, I don't quite know why. We have Nimcinder in, Tony Blackwell, Pascal Leaverse, Mark Scale Model, hi all, William Rayborn, welcome. Mickle Pickles in, hey Mickle Pickle. John Bennett, welcome Gordon, Gordon 3 Sheets, Gordon's live! Beyblade, I have to do that every time, it's in my contract. Beyblade Master is in, the War General, hello from Belfast. Welcome, welcome. Who else we've got? Interzone 88 is in. Welcome from down under. If I remember rightly, have I got that right? Because the thing is, I don't remember anything about anybody. I never remember names or places or anything like that. So if I try and remember where you're from and I get it right, do tell me, because it's a little happy dance moment. If I get it wrong, it's just normal. So if I remember rightly, Interzone, you're in the Australia land. Mike Hornsey says Terry and Colin kept me entertained. John Bennett says, did you catch that? Oh, John Bennett and Mike Hornsey are talking together. They had a little bit of a, there was a little bit of a live group thing last night with Colin from Festa 67's workshop, and John and Smoo, and Vincent, and who else was there? I'm sure somebody else was there. Who have I missed? I'm going to piss somebody off by missing them. Oh, well, never mind. Probably somebody else. James Lorimore is in. Welcome, welcome. Scott Sutherland, afternoon from a stormy rock somewhere in the North Atlantic. Scott is in Orkney. Welcome, Scott. Welcome, welcome as always. Matt Bradford, hello folks, welcome Matt. Chin Bowie is in. Hello, I'm new here everyone, hi. Welcome Chin, welcome to the stream. I hope you stick around. Do remember to subscribe and click the notification bell, because we do this every Sunday 3 PM, and I do other videos as well. And it's not always Warhammer. I'm working on at the minute my Strike Rouge Owatori Gundam Master Grade. Pascal Leaverse says, don't forget to join the Boom Hut. Chin. Just in case anybody is new, I shall put the address in the chat. It's at Facebook. It's where my typewriter. Typewriter? What? Where my keyboard works. Facebook.com/groups/model boom hut. If you want a really awesome, did that actually post? If you want a really awesome group to join, a model making group where everybody's friendly and everybody's really nice, everybody's supportive and help you out and won't give you nonsense and there's no snark, join the Model Makers Boom Hut. It's a fantastic place that I set up. This is going to be fun when he realises, yes, my microphone was off for a while. I had no idea. That's the thing. I don't know, because I can't, because it's just me and I'm a one-man band. I can't monitor the stream while I'm doing the stream, so I didn't know there was no audio. For some reason, the microphone just decided to unset itself. I have no idea why. It's randomness. So yes, we had a boomer moment. Speedy Curator's in. Jerry is in. Welcome, welcome. I scrolled a bit there, so if I missed anybody, I apologise. Richard Flanagan is in. Rita, I can't see it from here, it's too small. Rata Rikitofen. Hello, welcome Rata. Dad's in, Mike Mountain. Dad is one of our moderators and he's lovely, so he'll look after you if you have any issues. Welcome Dad. Dude Guy McPants, boomer moment. Alex Geis is in. Zed Power. Ghost Lyle, Pineapple. Gwenelle Dupré, welcome, welcome. William Rayborn. Andy Butcher. I should do this at the start really, because by this point in the show there's about 300 of you and it took me out for hours to read through all these. Chris Smith. Captain Weirdbeard, yo, morning, yo. Faisal Shastafari. If I get your name wrong, it's not that I can't pronounce your name, it's that the text is really small. Faisal Shastari, hello, welcome Faisal. Let's have a look. Festa 67 Workshop is in. Welcome, Colin. That's the crazy Southerner and the Welshman looking after you in chat. Right, let's have a look. Right. Okay, I think I've caught up with everybody. Sergeant Bones is in. Welcome, Sergeant. And Smoo. Hey, right, Smoo. There's the Scottish accent for you. That was terrible, actually. That was a really bad one this morning. Can he do it? Can he do it? Did he? I've not had enough coffee or a sleep or anything. Aviad Madar is in. Hell yeah, says Aviad. Nothing worse than a boss with health. Yes, Aviad can take his health back up again by putting tips and things through. So just keep that in mind. Yes, I am from Australia, says Interzone. Yes, I remembered the thing. Yes, I have a brain that works. Jamie Bone, hi everyone. Sorry I'm late. No worry. George Flatter is in. Big news. I bought a house and I'm getting married Saturday. George, congratulations, dude, on the house and the getting married. Is that a very short notice getting married? Or you just not told us before? Oh, brilliant. Well done. Well done on all the counts there. Awesome. Smooth says, this week I've been mostly eating artichokes. Made a right mess of my pants. I don't think there's a song I can sing to say happy getting married. There's like a happy birthday song, but not happy getting married song. Yeah, well, congratulations, dude. Well done, well done. What does I'm well done for? Well done, you bought a house. I have, of course, my enormous coffee, which is ready to go. And, of course, because I have the beard of beards, I have an enormous piece of tissue to get the litre of coffee that's now in my moustache. Or even moustache, even. Now, remember, this is mostly a show where I will attempt to do some work. So I'll probably miss a lot of stuff that goes on in the chat. If you want to ask me a question or say something, get my attention, you can either just put it in big fat capital letters, which will give me a good chance of seeing the question. You can do a super chat. You've seen a couple already. It's the little dollar symbol at the bottom of the chat window. Oh, hello, who was that? That was Tony Blackwell. Cricket critic. Oh, cricket critic. Cricket critic. Cricket critic. I got that one. I almost got it right the first time. Thank you very much, Tony. You and your little phrases that I have to read out. Cricket critic, cricket critic, critic. I can't say it now. Now I know what it is. Cricket critic, cricket critic, critic, critic critic. Shut up. Yes. Anyway, where was I? Yes. So if you want to ask a question, put it in big fat capital letters. If you want to, you can use a super chat. That puts it in a little coloured box, and I get an audio ping on my computer that tells me you made a comment. Also, it takes some of Aviad's health down. Or if you don't have access to chat, if you can see the chat here on the screen, this chat, but you don't have access to the actual live chat where you can ask questions and join in the chat, and do if you can. All you need to do is click on the little YouTube icon on the bottom right hand corner, which is down here somewhere, down here in the corner of the screen. Click on that, it'll take you to the YouTube page where you can see the live stream and you can join in the live chat with everybody on most devices, not on every device. But if you can join the live chat, do join it. It's a good laugh. Everybody in there is really lovely. People have a great time. Most of them are fairly self-sufficient because I crack on with the work and you guys just hang out and chat. And you have a chance to win stickers and things, so do join in the chat if you can. But if you can't get the chat at all, you've got no way at all to join the live chat, just drop me an email, fox@modelmakingguru.com. I've made it smaller and put it down there permanently now, so my address is here all the time. It's there. Fox@modelmakingguru.com. Send me questions about model making, about Warhammer, don't like that much. Questions about anything. I'll take questions on anything. And remember, if you want me to answer something or talk about something, put it in the chat, because I depend on you to give me stuff to talk about. Otherwise, it'll be a really quick show. Right. Somebody came in. Totally Scale Models is in. Welcome, Totally Scale Models. Welcome, Steve. Scale Model Vamp. Welcome, welcome. Right, I think one put it on the chat. So, what are we doing today? Well, I've instantly got the sniffly nose, because of course I have, because I turned the camera on. So I'm just ripping random bits of tissue off now. So I'm going to give my nose a quick blow. Well, quick, not blow, but you know what I mean. Today, as we finished the armigers last week, or as I finished the armigers last week, pretty much, I'm going to make a start on my Taurox Prime. Now this is not just the Prime, it's from my Start Collecting Militarum Tempestus set. I've built all the dudes. I've not painted all the dudes yet, but I've built them all, and they're all ready to be waiting to be painted. So I've just got to build the Taurox now, so I can get rid of this box. Because it's been sitting around, and I've just been waiting to do the Taurox, so I need to get that built so I can throw the box and stuff away. And I have to say, one of the big challenges with doing Warhammer is, one of the big advantages of Warhammer is that you end up with so many spare parts, bits left over. When you do figures and stuff, you get tons. However, the problem then is, the hell you do with them? Do you keep them on the sprue? Do you spend a day taking everything off sprues and putting them in little bags? And where do you put them in? Whoa. So you kind of get the satisfaction of finishing a build and tearing the box up and throwing it away. But you still have a pile of stuff left at the end, which is like, oh, it's weird. It's weird. Mike Hornsey says, cool. Ghost Lyle says, the bad track's on that thing. Aviad Madar says, magnetise it. Speedy Q8 says, right, washing pot's done. Chicken Kiev and veg cooking and catching up on chat. Ooh, chicken Kiev. I'm having Chinese for tea tonight. Chinese takeaway. Yes, nice and cheesy. I don't mean literally cheesy. Now, yes, tracks. Now, we are going to do something a little bit different with this, because yeah, I personally, now I wish Kenneth was here, I personally can't stand these tracks. I'll get that box and show you again. Let me show you on the box art. I can't stand them. I think they just look silly. And plus, if you ignore the sticky price there, who puts price labels on things anymore? It's like the old-fashioned thing. If you know the sticky price there, that one's not even straight. So whoever in the Heavy Metal team has built that hasn't even put that on straight. So, but yeah, I can't be doing these tracks. They just look kind of dumb to me. Personally, to me. I know some people like them. James Lauren, holy crap! Hey, holy crap for what? Hey folks, do you call your home your den? No, I just call it my little world, my little place. But I get the joke. Those tracks look horrible. And yes, you need a bits box. I've got a bits box. Well, I've got a bits bag and it's overflowing. I've got like loads of sprues now. I need to spend like a whole day just taking bits off sprues, separating them out into like Astra Militarum bits and Scion bits, and it's like, oh, never ending. But then it's like, you think, right, I need a rifle now. Because I was looking at some bits I had in the box. It's like, right, I need a rifle. But I've got a rifle on an arm, but I've not got the other arm that goes with it. And then you have to stop messing about. It's like, oh. Do what a Festa 67's workshop does and super glue them to your face, Fox. Yes. Yes. As with Spitfires and other things. Give it some low rider wheels, Fox. Smooth workshop, lol. A bit's chest, says Totally Scar Models. Vamp has the right idea, says George. Well, here's what we're actually going to do. What we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this nonsense. I'm actually going to give it some low rider wheels. Actually, we're not going to give it low rider wheels. We're going to give it kind of... The only thing I can think of is, you know those kits of like the modern day armoured vehicles you get that for some reason are always stationed in like South Africa? The big massive sort of things with water cannons, and they have the 35-foot clearance between the wheels and the vehicle and then the ground. I got a load of those. Now, I can't tell you where I got these. Not because I don't want to, it's because I'm rubbish and I can't remember. It's Black something or other. There's only 2 places that do wheel kits for Taurox, and they are Black something or other. Something Black something or other. And another place whose name I can't remember either. And they're all resin. You can get them. Have a look on eBay. It might be on Amazon as well, but have a look on eBay or anywhere that like lists Warhammer spares. It's just like there's a few different things you can do. There's Black Dog. No, it's not Black Dog, I don't think. I can't remember what they're called. Just look up Taurox wheel kit or something. There's a few different ones. There's one that comes with just 2 front wheels, and you can have the tracks on the back, so you can make a half track. There's one that comes with 4 wheels. My keyboard keeps popping up for no reason whatsoever. There's Black Sabbath, no. Victoria Miniatures, no. Aussie Sideline, no. You're talking about the South African rattle vehicles. I don't know what they are. For some reason, it's just like whenever you see like old footage in the 70s or 80s, and they have like the riot control vehicles that are like 100 foot tall, but there's like loads of clearance and between the wheels and the vehicle, those kind of things. I think they've got them in sort of Israel and places like that now as well, but they're kind of like military but not military. You know what I mean? I can't remember what they're called. Black Library? No. It's some third-party company that makes resin stuff. These are resin. Yeah, there's one company that does like 2 wheels. You get like tracks. You can use the tracks. Or you can make a 4-wheel one, which looks, frankly, a bit weird. It just looks weird with 4 wheels, because you'll see when it's built, the wheels do kind of like... There's a lot of empty space around the wheel bay. So I figured I'd go for the 6-wheel version, because at least it looks a bit more feasible than a 4-wheel one. The 4-wheel one looks just like a bit weird one. Alex, guys, I never see you use oil paints. Do you have any tips or tricks that aren't dot filters or washes? I haven't really used oil paints for anything other than gunk washes or weathering like filters and washes. Apart from I used to paint paintings, 2-dimensional paintings on canvas with oil paints. So I don't really have any tips because I have used them very occasionally. I might have used them if I've got, say, something that's, say, panelled. Like, imagine this was panelling. I'm up here on the top. There's the centre point, Fox. There's the centre point of your camera. Put it there. Sorry, folks. Yeah, say I was painting these little squares, and this one I wanted to make a slightly different shade. What I did do sometimes was get a tiny, tiny amount of oil paint, really, really tiny amount on a small brush, and just spread it out over the panel just to change it, to tint it a little bit. But I haven't done that for a while, and generally, that's it really. I mean, you would use oil paints for painting figures, and I really haven't got any tips on that other than you do have to leave them a long, long time to dry. I painted the pilot for my Jedi, Anakin's Jedi Starfighter thing that I made a few years ago, and I literally just painted that with oil paints. I did the base colours in acrylics and then brushed over the oil paints very, very thinly so I could do some blending of the fabrics. First time I ever tried it, and it came out okay. But it took like weeks to dry. So yeah, if you're painting with oil paints, you could be there for weeks and weeks and weeks. So it's probably why best you don't do it, unless you're painting figures that can sit around for a month or two while they properly dry and cure. I wouldn't normally use them for anything other than weathering and stuff like that. The Hummel is used in South Africa. That's what you're describing, Fox. Could be something like that. Blood and Skulls might be that. I'm not sure. Starship Filth is technically oil paint. Yes, they are all oil paints. Alex Fox has a great dot filter on the knackered old tranny bill, says Speedy Q8. Yeah, if you go into my channel and go into playlists, because I always organise my stuff into playlists, you will see a playlist for the transit van, which I used oil paints for that. But it does say about that aren't filters or washes. So crowd control vehicles. It says scale model vamp, that kind of thing. They usually have like a water cannon on the top. I do nearly all my weathering with oil, says Andy Butcher. I do a lot of weathering with oil sometimes. I used to do a lot of gunk washes, but now it's just got to the point where I can do it with enamels now, and it doesn't take 5 days, but I still do it. Streaking is great with oil paints. Davey UK, hello Fox, hello everyone, welcome Davey. So yeah, so we have the wheel set for the Taurox. Now I'm probably not. These need to be washed, and they need to be. They've been taken off the little tiny sprues, and they've been sanded down basically. There's a little bit of cleanup to go on these, and they need to be fully washed. So I can't stick these on yet. So I'm going to put them back in the bag. But yes, we will be doing proper grown-up wheels, and not the silly tracks that come with it. So there you go. As for magnetising it, as somebody mentioned, I don't know. I want to do the dude inside and have a full interior, because you do get the interior for it. So what I might do is, say, magnetise the roof, maybe, because I'm not going to be changing the weapons. I'm not going to get that intense playing that I have all the weapons swap outable, because I'm not going to be that intense of a player. So what I'll probably do is just go some default weapons. But what I might do is see how it would be for magnetising just the whole roof section. So, because what I want is, I want this one, because I'm doing the Taurox Prime, so I want to go for Taurox Prime with the turret-mounted Storm Bolter, a Taurox battle cannon, and a hull-mounted hotshot volley guns. Now I can see the battle cannon. There's the hotshot volley guns, I think, and that's the Storm Bolter. It's got a little fella sticking out there, wee little fella in the little tube. So I want the one because there'll be a driver inside, and there's a little fella sticking out. I like painting little fellas. So I might do that one, and I'll see what I can do with the roof. I don't know yet. It might not be magnetisable at all, so we'll have to see. If not, I'll do like I did with my armigers, just have it as it's loosely on there, so I can take it off and show off the interior if I want to. Plus, it's also handy to store little things in there. Like if I've got, if I'm putting this in my carry case, I can always take the top off and store some of the bits inside there, just out of the way. So there you go. So yes, that's what we're going to do. So we're going to build that one. We're going to build this one here. So we need to do steps 1 to 7 and then skip step 10. So 1 through, don't need any of that. All the steps for building the tracks. Don't care. Not interested in tracks at all. So they can all be ignored. La 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 la. Don't care. Yes. Die Creator. Hey Fox, I've been trying the Master Brush Cleaner and it works great. However, I still can't get rid of the dried paint at the base of the brush. Do you have any tips to remove them? If you mean the paint that's down at the ferrule, so the paint at this end of the brush here, where the metal bit meets, It depends how old it is. What I tend to do is get it in the master's brush cleaner, gently massage it around the base here. Just spend a minute or so just gently massaging it and get more if you need to. Make sure it's obviously wet. Work it, work it, work it. Hold it like that while you're working that soap in there. And then just leave it with the soap on there. Put it to one side. Leave it for as long as you want. It could be 5 minutes, it could be an hour. When you come back later on, just get it in the water and get all that soap out again. Rinse it out and give it another clean. Just a normal clean this time. And then store it that way up with the bristles down, either clamped so that it's not touching anything if you've not got a tube, or if you've got the tube, put the tube on and store it upside down. That way the water can run out and take the paint particles with it. However, if it's been a while, if it's quite an old brush or it's really compacted in there, it probably won't get all of it out. The brush cleaner is really good, but it can only do so much. If it's real compacted paint in there because it's been pressed into there and squished, it might not get rid of all of it. So you may have, you know, it may be, I've got some brushes that have come out beautifully clean, but there are still some bits of paint in there that I can't get out. Like my favourite dry brushing brush in the world, here you can see there's that bit of that shiny bit there is metal of the ferrule where the paint's come off, and then the bit above it is just paint that's never going to come out ever because it's been on there for, like, you know, 2 years. It's never going to get rid of that. So if it's been on there long enough, it won't take it out. It won't get rid of it. But as long as your brush is still pointing, it's fine. But give that a try. I'll play that new Spider-Man game. No, I'm not into Spider. I can't be doing Marvel nonsense. Don't like Marvel nonsense. Don't know why. Mike wants you to say lacquer thinner. Yeah, you could clean your brush in lacquer thinner. That will dislodge a lot of it. Just be aware, though, obviously, using things like lacquer thinner over time will just damage the brush. So what you want to do, if you're doing that, get in some lacquer thinner and get that out. It might get rid of a lot of the really stuck paint. And then go back and clean it with the soap as well afterwards, just to, because the soap is conditioning and softening and making your brush healthy. So there you go. Time for some coffee. Oh, that's better. I got this bottle of milk from the shop the other day, and it's this bizarre. They sell lots of milk in the corner shop, but they also sell these little glass bottles of milk, like proper glass bottles of milk, like you used to get at school, and it tastes just like rice pudding. It's very, very strange. It's like liquid rice pudding. It's most pleasant. Dude Garment Pants. You can get rid of dry paint with either ammonia or trisodium phosphate. Oh, thank you very much, Dude Garment Pants. Very kind of you. A little bit of health come off Aviad there again. Look, it's down to 2 bars now. Yes, you can get rid of the dry paint with either ammonia or trisodium phosphate. Ammonia will break... Ammonia? That's not right. That's that Imodium. That's for poop problems. Oh. Ammonia will break down acrylic binders, which is why it's often Windex in the US. Windex is a glass cleaner with ammonia in it that's used to get rid of Future or Clear or Pledge gloss varnish. So yes, you could clean it with ammonia. I wouldn't, well, just be aware, obviously, I wouldn't necessarily use neat ammonia because it will stink and it's really noxious. If you can get something with ammonia in it, that might be a bit more friendly to everybody else in your house. But yes, anything like that, that will break the paint down even more effectively. It's just, obviously, you don't want to do it all the time, because that will do, occasionally, that can potentially damage the bristles, because it's like washing your hair in ammonia. It probably wouldn't end well. But yeah, if you do that, do it as a one-off just to get it clean, and then go ahead and wash it in the soap afterwards just to get it all conditioned and softened again. Right, thank you for that, Dude Guy McPants. Oh, I've got a really itchy nose today. Right, so I don't, maybe to start off with, maybe just use, if you're in the US, I don't know where you are. If you're in the US, or you can get some like Windex or glass cleaner that has ammonia in it, because that will be a small concentration of ammonia, and give it a try with that first, see if that helps. But again, if it's really old paint and it's really caked on that, it might just be impossible to remove. Right, should we do some work? Yes. Now, the only thing I'm not sure about is how these wheels I've got attach to things. You have to build this contraption here for the suspension. I'm assuming the wheels just glom onto these existing pits, so instead of putting the tracks on there, you just put the wheel on there. I don't know. I do not know, but we shall have to find out. Right, so let us crack on with some work. I shall get my visor of seeing, because it's been, what, half an hour now, we've done nothing. So let's do some work. Yes, work time. Front suspension assembly. 35, 30 and 30. don't know, these big, yeah, debating whether to use my my god hands or not. I shall use my god hands. 35, 30 and 30. It's going to be on the other sprue because of course it is. So we have, which remember the camera's here. Remind me folks, the camera's here, not there. I'm used to working up there now. 35, 30 and 30. Oh man, the detail on this kit is beautiful. All the little things I could paint. Many, many things to be painted. So we've got 35 here. 35, and this is going to be out of focus because it's up off the desk. My apologies. Yeah, those big vehicles I was trying to think of. They're kind of the things that you get in dragon kits and trumpeter kits. I need 35. I need 30. 2 lots of 30, which is here, which is there. So how is everybody? I can't get this off without actually having it sticking up in the air, so it's not really much fun for you to watch while I'm doing this. How is everybody? What's everybody working on at the moment? How goeth your travails in the model making world? What are your current projects? Tell me, tell me, tell me, with all the words in the chat. And don't forget, of course, we'll be doing sticker giveaways later on. So if you want to guarantee yourself a sticker, just send me a question and answer to use in the giveaways. And if I use your question and answer, I will send you a sticker. And all I need to do is send me the question, the answer to that question, and please include your name and address, so I don't have to then mail you and say, thanks for the question and answer, I've used it, where do you live, so I can send you a sticker. Right, I need 48, 48 and 48, which is, I'm going to guess, going to be on a totally different sprue. Yes. 40. Oh, don't forget as well, before we go anywhere, don't forget as well, before I get going and forget completely, I'm also running a competition at the moment. Don't forget, if you've missed it, I'm running a competition to win issue 1 of the Warhammer Conquest. If you're outside the UK, you can't get hold of this. It's only UK and Republic of Ireland. And I'm giving away 3 of these and 1 to a UK person, to patrons who support me on Patreon. So pop along to my Patreon page, which is down here. The address is there, patreon.com/modelmakingguru. Or there is a video on my YouTube channel I posted up the other day telling you how you can win one of these. I've got 3 for non-UK patrons and 1 for UK patrons. It's just, I've got 4 of the issue 1, which is now out of print, or it's not in stores anymore. And it's UK and Republic of Ireland only. So if you've been trying to get hold of one in the UK, or if you're outside the UK and you can't get hold of one, just pop along to my Patreon page, or there is a video. Go to the videos on my page, you'll see it. You'll see it. Chat suddenly moved, but I'll just get these. I need 4. What do I need? 48. So I've got 4 of those. I was in the shop and they had 4, and I said, you know what? I'm going to get 4 of those, and I'm going to give them away to my patrons, because my patrons keep me going. And while I'm saying that, just a big shout out to all my patrons. I need another 48. Where is it? 48 and 48. Big shout out to all my patrons who do support me, and Aviad has just supported me on Patreon the other day, so thank you very much, Aviad. Big shout out to all my patrons who do support me. You may not know, but this YouTube channel is effectively my living. This is how I make my income. This is how I earn my income, by doing YouTube. The income from YouTube and from Patreon, and from selling some of my builds. That's how I make my living. So, and a big thank you and shout out to all my patrons, because without them, I wouldn't be able to do any of this. I'd be, you know, I'd have to go and get a crappy office job, and I wouldn't have time. I used to work for a living, obviously, but there was just no time to make content, because I'd be working, you know, 7 in the morning till 7 at night. It would be work, and then by the time I got home, I'd have maybe an hour or 2. And I would not be in the mood to do anything. Weekends, you'd be too knackered. So there was never any time for me to make content. So I quit my job and decided to make this my job. And I love it. And it's because of the support of my patrons. And, you know, non-patrons who do things like, you know, the super chats and the tips and things like that. And people that send me things to give away and stuff. And all people that, you know, all your viewers on YouTube, because you watch me and I get a little tiny bit of money from YouTube. So thank you to all my followers and supporters who make my dream come true, basically. You allow me to live this dream, and it makes me very happy. So thank you to all. If you're not a patron, you'd like to support me, you can do. Just go along to patreon.com/modelmakingguru. Have a look at the different offers. You can support me from anything from $1 upwards. It's whatever you choose to support me with. You don't have to be a big spender. Every little helps, and everything is gratefully accepted. But if not, cool. I still love you. Alright, so I'm just gonna get these denubbed and cleaned up. Now, I've said this before, and I will say it again. I am not going for my usual kind of display quality shelf queen, super detailed museum level paint job or build job on these things for my army. Quite simply because they're for my army and I intend to play them at some point. So they're going to get some beating on the table. They're going to get handled. I could spend 2 weeks painting this Taurox, but it's going to get handled and play with it. It's just not going to do it any favours. So there's really no point me getting too hung up on the quality of the paint job. I'll still make it look good. It'll still look awesome. Why is that not coming off? It'll still look. I'll make it look as good as I can. I'm not going to cut corners and stuff. But it's going to be, if anything, tabletop quality, I think. So, yes, there might be the odd seam line here and there. There might be the odd bit of a ropey paint job. Why is that bit not coming off? But that's fine. I'm not going for super display quality with these. Okay. And the other thing is, of course, there are some techniques I just can't use. Because, things like on some of my builds I might use unsealed C1 metallizer. I can't do that on these because they'll be handled. So there you go. Powders and pigments, I can use them a little bit on bases, but not as powdery powders because they'll just come off. So in transit. Let's have a look at the chat. I asked you what you're all doing. 1/16 scale 1965 Mustang is totally scale models. Nice. Duty Guy McPants is a real good. Wow, can I just start that again? Duty Guy McPants is on a real grade Gundam Unicorn Norn. Richard Flanagan on the laser again at the moment, but hoping to get more work done on my master grade Leo 3D printed conversion tonight. Cool. James Lorimer is groovy and he's waiting for his brother to decide his first Gumpler build. Pascal Averse is working on a Eurofighter Typhoon jet. Andy Butcher did some oils on his Gundam Bale earlier, just making a gun for his next project while those dry. Richard Gibbs is regretting ever getting Finecast. Yeah, welcome to Finecast. I've got some Deathcore Creed, but they're Forge World, not Finecast. And although they're not brilliant, they're a bit rough around the edges because it's an old print now, but they don't look too bad. But yeah, I've also got Slime Arbo, which is Games Workshop, so it is Finecast. Yeah, I've had a look in the box, and it actually doesn't look too bad. But yeah, even I know not to go anywhere near Finecast if I can help it. I mean, I'm not a big resin fan anyway. Stop falling on the floor. I'm not the world's biggest fan of resin anyway. I really, for the most part, I'm not that keen on resin because it's too much faff. It's too much faffing around. I see the benefits of it. But that's why I'm not the biggest fan of Forge World, because I just see all the problems that people have. Because Games Workshop stuff, the plastic kits are so beautiful. You put them together with, in most cases, no problems whatsoever. It's dead easy. They go together beautifully, and then you try and give me a resin kit where none of it's going to fit. I'm going to have to work hard to get it to fit. Filling in, none of that nonsense. Far too lazy. Current project, says George Flouter, building a workshop in my basement with 3 workstations for myself and my children. There you go. That's in the new house. What about the good lady Mrs. Wife? Future wife in the next few days. You need to. Does she not want some space in the workspace? Interzone 88, Malign Sorcery Shackles and Spec Marines. Andy McLeish is building some Conquest Marines. Damn you lot of enablers. Yeah. What you mean? You mean these ones? Doodle 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 doo. Yes. Just be aware when you get the Plague Marines after these, the Death Guard are actually much nicer than these. These are a bit rough around the edges. These guys, for some reason, the plastic's different. But the Death Guard are much nicer plastic. Zeke Howell's working on his Master Grade Zagok and HG Rick Diaz. Nice. Norboroid is working on a Papercraft Ed 209. Yes, paper don't judge. Nothing wrong with Papercraft. I've got a Papercraft Halo Pelican on my PC somewhere that I never got around to doing because I downloaded it and realised I haven't got a printer. Special. I always said it was special. Jamie Bone is working on the Warhammer 40k Conquest Space Marines, which Jerry sent me. Cool, nice one, Jerry. Does anyone know when the 3rd issue of the Warhammer 40k Conquest will come out? I'm guessing they're going to be every Wednesday because the last one was Wednesday. So maybe this week? What I want to know is if you get... Because I've not subscribed, I can't afford to subscribe to it, so... But I might occasionally pick one up in the shop. If you go to the shop to buy issue 3, do you get issue 4 free with it? Because you do if you subscribe. But I don't know if you just go into the shop and find one. So, yeah. I did go through a period of thinking I want to subscribe to this because it would just be 2 massive armies and it would be great because it would be cheaper than buying them. But yeah, it's not something I can afford to do at the moment. So, never mind. I'll pick up the odd one. Alex Geis is working on his real grade Sazabi, real grade Zeta Gundam, at high grade Psycho Zaku, with big gun, yes, and many things in his Ta'au army. I have to say Ta'au because it's stupid having an apostrophe in there. Do you know why Ta'au? Why Tau has an apostrophe in the Tau? And it didn't originally, and now it does. There used to be just TAU, the Tau. And on some of the old boxes and start collecting, it just says TAU. Now it's T''AU. Because there was the whole thing about the copyright of Space Marines, and Games Workshop tried to jump on people using Space Marine and got beaten senseless in court. They just were told to shut up. Which is why, for example, Imperial Guard got changed to Astra Militarum, because you can easily copyright Astra Militarum. You can't really copyright Imperial Guard because it's used by a lot of different things. In the same way, the Tau must have been used before, so they've added the apostrophe to make it unique, so they can easily say that's our copyright and take people to court and guarantee they'll win because T''AU. So that's where it all comes from. So I always say Ta'au because you want to put an apostrophe in it, I'm going to pronounce it the goddamn apostrophe. Also, I have a deep hatred and loathing of any time, excuse me, any time when you try and make something seem alien and like exotic by adding an apostrophe into it. Like, anything Vulcan. I mean, Vulcan is kind of allowable because that was, 40 odd, 50 odd years ago. To Paul and to Pow and all that kind of stuff. But after that, it seems that any lazy sci-fi writer who wants to make things sound sci-fi and alien just adds an apostrophe. Like, no. Star Trek used to drive me nuts with that. It's like, oh look, here come the Jem'Hadar with an apostrophe for no reason. And all the other words that they came up with. Oh, it drives me nuts. Stop using apostrophes to sound alien. When Fox says only in the UK, he means everywhere but the Scottish Highlands, says Speedy QA. It is available in the Scottish Highlands. It's just you're rubbish at finding it. And I think you're in the real Highlands, which is there's not a lot in there anyway. Unless there's a lot of Warhammer fans up there and not many shops, and you didn't go in fast enough. What was that? Good guy, dude, Guy McPants, subscribe. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your subscription. Don't forget to click on the little bell, so you can be notified when I do any kind of live streams and stuff. If you're a new subscriber, anybody out there, this stream is always on a Sunday at 3 PM, unless it's not at 3 PM. But it's every Sunday at 3 PM. I do the occasional other live streams though. If I'm building something else, and I'm say doing decals or this kind of denubbing stuff, sometimes what I'll do is a live stream, just because I can do a live stream when I'm doing stuff like decals and denubbing, because I don't have to pay attention too much to what I'm doing. So like when I'm doing this Strike Rouge, the Master Grade Strike Rouge Autori at the moment, for one of my patrons, Jordan. When I get to doing the decals on that, I'll probably live stream it because I can do the decals while I'm chatting to you guys. Russell Penton subscribed, thank you very much. By the way, both of you have taken a little tiny bit of Aviad's health away, so well done. Daniel Stansfield says, Fox, I'm working on an AMT 1989 Batmobile, and by God, it's flashy bad fit nightmare. The moment you said AMT, I didn't need to read the rest of the sentence to know it was going to be a flashy bad fit nightmare. Welcome to the MPC Snowspeeder. MPC AMT, they're kind of interchangeable in terms of quality. Finishing up my English Electric Lightning, says Mike Hornsey. Nice. It's another one of those you have to build that kind of kit, isn't like the Spitfire. Wednesday, Jamie, unless you mean issue 2, which is currently out. Yes, issue 2 is out now. Issue 1 was out. You might still find it here and there, but I think it's every week they're going to do it, basically. But what would be nice to see is, if you subscribe and you get issue 3, you get issue 4 free. I suspect if you go to the shop and just buy it off the shelf, you might just get issue 3 and then issue 4 the next week. I don't know. Fox, can you turn the support links into buttons? I'd have to look into it. I'm not that technically savvy, and I don't know if that's something that Streamlabs OBS can do. I don't know if it allows me to put buttons on there, but I will certainly look into it because that would be a damn good idea. It does save people going to a different website altogether. Let's have a look. Afternoon, all visitors came just as the stream started, says Dad. Hey Dad, no worries. Look, I'm even using your glue holder, my dad's device's glue holder. Dad made this for me, and I nearly took the glue out then. That would have made him say rude words. Speedy Correct is currently practicing on his Plague Marines and aiming for across the room in a dark corner on the floor quality. Yes. Although I did hear you were going to paint them red. This seems very strange for Death Guard. Which agreed. But yeah, I know you're not fussed about the cannons, so. Right, so let's get this little bit assemblated. And again, as I said, I'm not going for, you know, the most impressive showroom quality in the world here. Ping. I'm not worrying about that. This is just for my army. Ooh, there's all badly sanded round the edge there. Terrible sanding there, Fox. You need to sort that out right away. Yes, about that. The irony is, of course, I'm taking all this care with these pieces. They're just going to go underneath and then be covered in dirt and dust and mud. So I don't need to worry quite that much, I don't think. So that, okay, that goes on there like that, and that goes on like that, was it? Lovely. Lovely. This is a bit bad sanding there. We'll try and get our seam line removal tool. Clean that edge up. Oh, there's the ice cream man. I can hear him. Woo! He's playing the cornetto music at the minute, which is kind of boring. Just one cornetto, give it to me. We used to have an ice cream man. I don't know if anybody else will have ever had this in the 70s. We used to have an ice cream man who's, and if you're in the UK, you'll know what this means. Like, ice cream vans played ice cream van music, which is tinkly bell type music. My ice cream van in the 70s used to play not the cornetto music. It wasn't, you know, any of the kind of standard tunes that ice cream vans play. His van used to play Lily Marlene, which, if you don't know it, is a World War II German wartime song. Sort of, I think it's about a prostitute. But that was the music of choice for our ice cream van. It was Lily Marlene. It's like, I didn't know until I was like a bit older, and I was like, wait a minute, that's Lily Marlene our ice cream man plays. What the heck? At that point, it just became very impressive. Wow. World War II German troop song about a prostitute. Kick ass. What was chat doing? These Marines, the plastic is arg, says Andy McLeish. Yeah, the plastic on the blue Space Marines is not, it's kind of brittle, and I don't know, it's not the most friendly. It's not their normal plastic. However, the plastic on the Death Guard is actually much better. Okay, so that's just going to go in there. A little bit of the extra thin. Oh, Dad, while I remember, I have to thank you again for the plastic magic glue that you sent me. Because I did use it to glue together the inner frame of my my head's in shot there, apologies. Glue together the inner frame of my Strike Rouge, and it works perfectly on ABS plastic. So yes, if you've got to glue together an inner frame on a Gunpla and it is ABS, get yourself some of that plastic magic. Now you can use, if you want, because I do have some Tamiya ABS cement. However, that's really thick and dries really fast, which is good, but it's really, really thick. So it's like Tamiya thick cement. This dries really slowly, but it's like Tamiya extra thin. It's like liquid, so you can put two pieces together and run the glue around the edge. This you can't. You can't do that. You have to glue two pieces together, glue them, and then stick them. This is great for frame because you can put the frame together and then just glue it. So there you go. So if you're making your Gundam, and in case you want to see it, because I haven't shown it to anybody yet, I took a photograph on the thing last night. This is the frame so far for my Strike Rouge Autori, which has been all metallicized up. I've not done any weathering on it, and I probably won't do. There's little tiny bits of gold, but not much. I may gloss it and do a pin wash for the recesses. I don't know yet. I don't know. But that's the inner frame so far. And that's just gloss black primer from UMP. Then I used a Vallejo acrylic metal colour steel, which is 77712. And then I went over with some C1 metallizer, and then the gold bits are just some Retributor armour from Warhammer. So yeah, quite pleased with that. So that's where I'm up to on that. But yes, if you're doing a Gunpla and you want to glue frame parts together, because that's a static frame, it's not posable at all, then get yourself some of that plastic magic. Okay, so that's the front axle apparently. Russell Fenton has subscribed. Thank you very much, Russell. Most kind of you. I think that was just now, or was it earlier on? I don't know. My computer made a noise and I thought maybe it told me something. Smooth says the starter set ones with the magazines aren't the same quality as the normal box sets. No, I mean this one, which is the 3 Space Marines, that is a set you can actually just buy. It's like a tenner, so you know it's a tenner, and it's not as brittle as that. That's kind of a hard plastic. It's weird because it's a harder plastic, but it's smooth, like it cuts like butter, so it's very easy to gouge the plastic, which can be a pain. But it's all right. For £1.99, or if you do my giveaway for free. Plastic Magic, yay, glad you got to use it. Yeah, glued that frame and glued the shit out of that frame, I tell you. Yeah, I'm going to use it now for all my Gundam, because going forward when I do a Gunpla build, I'm going to make them as static fixed frames. Because, 28, I need 28 31. Because I realised that a big chunk of the stress of building Gunpla is messing about with the frame. Keeping it posable and think, well, I can't do this because I need it to be posable, I can't do that because I need to be able to move the arm. At the end of the day, doesn't matter, just build it in a fixed pose, nobody cares. That way I can do a lot more weathering and funky stuff with it and not worry about you know, whether this arm can still move. So I think going forward my Gunpla will be will be fixed and not posable. Not all, but most. I've got to do the Cesabe, Master Grade Cesabe at some point when I finish the Strike Rouge. 31 I need. 31 is going to be there. And that'll be a fixed pose as well. Kaplink. Gotta tell you, the detail on this is fantastic. There's so much sort of etched detail. I know there's track parts, I'm not going to use them, but so many little rivets and etched bits of panelling, and the underside, it's just delightful. That's the underneath, it just looks divine. I love the detail on this. It is a shame not to use the tracks, because they do look fantastic, but just not when they're combined with the actual vehicle. By themselves, they look really nice, but when you stick them on the vehicle, they just look goofy as heck. 47, which is... Ooh, there's something I've not seen before. There's something I've definitely never seen before. A Warhammer figure. He's got legs, but then look at him, it's like an Airifx figure, he's hollow. I've never seen that on a Warhammer before. Wow. That's like Airifx cheapness. Wow. Doesn't matter, he's inside anyway. 47 is what I need. 47. Where is 47? It's your guess is as good as mine. Because there's no logical layout to these things on the sprue. Even on this sprue, who can say? There's no possible way to know at all. 47. Let's try the other sprue then, shall we? It will be on that sprue, you watch. 47. You kind of have to go off the piece of what it looks like with these. There's just... because it's really hard to see their numbers. There's 42, 39, 44, 42, 29, 18. Yeah. Downside of watching me do Warhammer, I have to sit and watch me fart about with sprues for 10 minutes. 47. 47? I know what they look like. I could recognise them easily if I could just see them. 47. There we go. There we go. Finally. I always say though, I am rubbish at building. It's the painting I enjoy. The building doesn't interest me at all. Even if it's a delightful Warhammer build. There's that one. Okay. So, see what chat's doing. Somebody's going. Mike Hornsey. Thanks for coming in, Mike. I always see people go after they've gone, but thanks for coming in. I thought I put in a question, but it disappeared, so I was checking, says Alex. Okay. I don't see a question from you, Alex, so just pop it through again in caps. I'm not sure. People are chatting away to themselves. Right, let's get these little pots cleaned up. Nearly Stabity then. Nearly, but not quite. You nearly got to see some more Stabity. But I denied you. Stabity denied. So a little bit of nub removal, but nothing too major because, again, I'm not going for museum display quality here. It's like if I was making a piece just as a display piece, I will go to town on every bit of detail. But because it's going to be tabletop played, then bits that aren't really going to be seen, I don't mind skipping or cutting corners. Like these bits are underneath, and they're going to be covered in earth and dirt. So I don't mind skipping and cutting a corner there. Whereas if I'm making a piece just to sell, that somebody else may want to have as a display model, then yes, I will detail and go carefully with everything I can do, even if it's visible or not. Now, having said that, I will be doing the interior on this, which seems silly because you're never going to see it, but that's why I'm going to leave the roof removable. Just so if I want to, I can show it off. Because I'll still do, like, you know, photographs of it, pictures of it to put on the internet, and they'll be visible. But things like the seam line that goes down the middle here, I'm not bothered removing that because once this is painted, it's going to be black. It's going to be covered in dirt and dust. Or it's going to be very dark grey and covered in dirt and dust anyway. So it doesn't really matter if it's not particularly visible. If it's not particularly tidied up properly. Because if you know me, you know I don't do clean builds. Andy McLeish says, hey Dad, I've designed some stickers, just need to find a place that prints. Mike Mountain says, yay, good on you, I'm in the queue. Have a word with Chris Williams from Gross Models. He can get them printed for you. Just send him the money, he'll get them printed and sent off to you. Because he works door down or something from a company that does his stickers and my stickers, nobody else's stickers. So give Chris at Gross Models a shout. He'll get you sorted out. And then send some to me so I can give them away. Now I do still have, when we do the stickers later on, I do still have some stickers from Gross Models. I still have some stickers from Dad, and I have some stickers from Carl over at Making Models, but I can't remember how many I've given away and I haven't sorted them out yet. So I'm just going to do Model Making Guru stickers today because I don't want to give away more stickers from other people than I've actually got, if that makes sense. Because I've forgotten how many I've given away now. So we'll just do Model Making Guru stickers today, and then I'll sort out the leftovers for next time. Yeah, it's kind of warm today. Got the heating on this morning and last night. Now it's gone warm and it's like, oh, heating was a bad idea. What are we doing with this one? This is just the corner piece here. So yeah, I'm not being super careful with the cleanup here. I'm not stressing too much because again, I don't know how much of this is even going to be visible when it's finished. So it will be a dark grey colour or black. It'll be covered in dirt. It'll kind of be made to look like the underside of my... I nearly said Tyrannosaurus Rex. I don't know why I was about to say Tyrannosaurus Rex. The underside of my transit van. That kind of effect, where it'll be like sort of painted black anyway. Go and look under any vehicle. Go and look under your own car. If your car's a few years old, go and look underneath it. Whereas it may have started out, especially utility vehicles, it may have started out with different colour components like the exhaust pipe and things like that. By the time it's a bit old, you're just left with this uniform sort of dark, dull grey colour that also has a layer of sort of dusty, dirty colour over it. That's a nub. I left a nub on those other two. Oh, darn it. Oh well. So yeah, I mean, or look underneath a train or something, the underside of a train where you see like the bogies where the wheels and things are. That kind of dusty, dusky, dull, kind of a brown colour. That's not rust, it's not necessarily the colour of the dirt, it's just a general browny colour. It's that kind of colour that I'll go for under the vehicle. Because a lot of, you know, commercial vehicles, for example, they're just painted black underneath, or a very dark colour. And often that's, you know, corrosion protection and stuff like that. So yes, they have maybe different coloured exhaust pipes, but drive your car around for a few years, your exhaust pipe is no longer this shiny silver thing anymore. It's this uniform dull colour across the whole of your car. That's how these things work. That's how undersides do. Now I've got Zifrank in my head. I've got Zifrank's voice in my head now. I'm not going to try and do it. If you know who Zifrank is, or Zifrank. Afternoon all, can anyone recommend a primer for vinyl? Ooh, you want something with a bit of chemical bite to it for vinyl, because normal primers might not be too great at gripping to it, so I would, in that case, perhaps consider some proper hardcore rattle can automotive primers maybe. When I did my 3 foot tall Master Chief, sir! When I did my big 3 foot tall Master Chief, he was a vinyl figure, which was a pig to work with because you can't cut it. But I used just bog standard Citadel's Chaos Black on that, purely because it's a chemical, it's a solvent primer. You can smell it when you spray it. And it's got solvents in it, so it did chemically kind of bond itself, and it worked fine actually, to be honest. It wasn't perfect, because what I really needed was a specific primer for vinyl, or a proper etch primer, but it worked. It was okay. I'm not doing it very well. That needs to go in properly. Thank you very much. Chris at Gross Models is in. Hey Chris. Somebody needs to ask you about stickers. I can't remember who now. Who was it? I've already forgotten. I'm rubbish. Annie McLeish needs to ask you about... That's the idea, Fox. The poik is coming. Poik. Yes, if every time somebody types poik, if you're wondering what it means this. Poik. Except that didn't work. Poik. Oh, poik. Oh, for God's sake. Poik. There you go. So what side you do it on. That's the poik. I can't remember who was talking about stickers. I think there was a character limit because I saw it post and disappear, not a major question. Okay, there's a character limit of 200 characters. It won't post it if there's a character limit. If it disappears, you've probably put a link in there. You can't post links. Only me or mods can post links. So if it had a link in it, that's probably why it disappeared. I haven't really got any active spam filters and things in there apart from, I think, just the default ones. So it may just be you try to do a link or something like that, or email addresses or anything like that. You won't be able to post those. They will just vanish. So don't post links because they don't work. What was I talking about now? I've got no idea. I watched Solo the other day. That was alright. I quite enjoyed it. It was proper, like, you know, bit of, what's the word I'm looking for? Daring do type scenarios. I didn't mind it at all. I had no problem with it. I wasn't sure about the Game of Thrones lady. I wasn't keen on her being in it. Nothing against her personally, but I just don't know. She just kind of broke the immersion for some reason. I don't know why. I like the guy playing solo. He kind of occasionally came across sounding like a bit like Harrison Ford. Speedy Q8 says, the story about the ice cream song reminds me of Gino D'Acampo explaining the meaning and origins of puttanesca and seeing Philip Schofield think, why did I think asking this was a good idea? Yeah. The colour is called smudge grot, says Earl D, that kind of colour under a car. Alex, sometimes when your comment is entirely in caps at one post, I think it's an anti-spam thing, but seems random. I've not really come across that before, but yeah, if you want to make sure not every single word is in caps, maybe, I don't know. I've never really seen that before. Don't think it's set to do that. Chris says, my stickers watch my shows. No, it's somebody who wants their own stickers, and you know where to get stickers made. Alex Guy says, retracted a message. But I don't know what the message was. Don't worry if that's the other thing I forgot to say, by the way. This is a grown-up stream for grown-ups. This isn't the e-model stream, so if you want to swear and say rude words and all kinds of things in the chat, go buck wild. I have no problem with swearing and that in my streams. Obviously, no religion, no politics, no nothing racist or anything like that. But if you want to, do a bit of swearage, that's absolutely fine. I have no problem with that at all. How's this going to fit later on? Cool, very well, thank you. Okay, so that goes on there, and that will go on there, or thereabouts. So how will that then work with my third party add-ons? They're going to go in here, so I'm not going to attach these now because I still need to wash these, clean them up, so I'm just wondering how these will eventually attach. Whether it really is just a case of just slap it on any which way you want, like take that bit off and glue it down, or if there's some other method they have in mind, I don't know. I think this would be a case of cut that piece off and glue that on instead, because it's about the right size. And for the front one, that I think would be much the same. I think that might be another case of doesn't really matter as long as you both do them the same way. Cut those pieces off and glue that down, because with these wheel kits it doesn't actually come with any instructions or anything like that, so then again it's not really that hard. I don't think it really matters too much. You can kind of custom it however you want, as long as they're all the same and they all line up, then that's jobs are good. Right, what's chat doing? Speedy Correct, it's Andy who was asking Chris. Okay. I got my wife for the joke, but thinking about it might be slightly racist, so showing it may not be a big thing to do. Yeah, no, don't. Yes, no sexism, no racism, no politics, no religion, nothing like that. Rude words are fine. We're all grown-ups here. We're all grown-ups and paying for things, so I'm not going to say, oh my god, don't swear in my chat, because that doesn't matter. We're all grown-ups. But yeah, racism, sexism, that kind of thing, that just gets you banned, dude. It's not acceptable. Hey Kenneth, look, wheels! Yes. Is Kenneth in? Have I missed him? James Lorimer says, rude words. I think Kenneth fainted seeing the wheels. Is Kenneth in? Have I missed him in chat saying hello? If you're in, Kenneth, hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. Always more than welcome. Look, yeah, wheels, sorry. Ow. That was my elbow. Chris says, finish the first path of Zaku weathering and building some R2 now. Speedy Q8, totally unacceptable. I'm not racist. I'll race anyone. Haha, yes. Right. What's next? We built two axles. How's that for a complicated overpart? Hey, compare that to like a dragon kit. I'll do it down here where the camera is. Compare that to like a dragon kit or something where there's like a trillion parts. 5 or 6 parts. Right, I have been receiving some emails see what the emails are, just in case I've missed any questions. I don't want to be missing questions. We have some questions for later on from Gerwin. Dear Fox, no sound. Yeah, that was earlier on. Yeah, that was a bit of a boob, that one, wasn't it? Okay, so we've got a question from Gerwin for later on for the giveaways. Also, I did actually mail. Somebody suggested the other day. I did send pictures of my. This is harbingers then. My armigers. I sent them off to White Dwarf to see if they would consider including them in their, readers' wives section. It's the second time I've sent stuff to White Dwarf, and it never went in last time. Last time I sent pictures of my Storm Wolf, and they never went in. So, have a look at next month's White Dwarf. If my little armigers are there, my little orange armigers, then do let me know. I don't buy it every month, so. Right, so we've got that bit done. We don't need to know about the tracks because I don't care. So next we have to build the floor pieces. Yeah, das ist richtig. Chassis assembly. Let's assemble the chassis, shall we? Oh, Kenneth M, you've been ignoring me in my comments. I guess this anti-track snobbery or something. I didn't even realise you were in chat, so I do apologise, Kenneth. I do miss a lot in chat. It's the difficulty of just being a one-man band and not having somebody to monitor chat for me. Can't all be Warhammer TV. Alex, guys, how are your God nippers holding up onto Games Workshop sprue on a phone redacted due to spelling? Mine chipped on the trunk of a Bandai sprue, cut the letter off the sprue and leave it with the parts. Yeah, they can be quite delicate. They're holding up okay with the Warhammer stuff. I'm kind of restricting it to ones that have thin attachment points. I wouldn't do scenery with that, scenery pieces, because they're like built out of brick or something. They're holding up okay. I just have to hope and pray I don't damage them because I can't afford to replace them. Gross Model says, hee boobs. Is it racist if she said engine, as in car engine? I don't get it. Never mind. Moving on. Kenneth M, you have been ignored. Oh, I've done that one already. Aculeus, who I don't pronounce correctly, but I've decided that's how I pronounce it now. Aculeus is in. Welcome. Just popping in, still getting ready for college tomorrow. That creator, you need to include name and address, says James Chapman. Hey Fox, if I'm going to send a question, what must include again? Sorry, the question, the answer, and your name and your address. So I know where to send the sticker, because I don't want to have to mail you and say, thanks, what's your name and address? Speedy Creator says, Aculeus, pull up a tree trunk and sit and join in. Cybersecurity degree, cool. And then Speedy Creator tries to correct his spelling and spells it wrong again. I have sent you some random facts for your sticker giveaways, says Nim. Ooh, I didn't have anything. Yes, I did. I've got some. Yes, cool. I've got some random history factoids from you, Nim. Thank you very much. What is the brand of your mold line remover tool? I need one. It is the Citadel mold line remover tool that you can get. It's the Games Workshop one. It's the best tool. Trust me. There's a lot of tools that Games Workshop make that you don't need. That you don't need to waste money on. I've got their pin vise, which is £3,000. It's ridiculously overpriced, but it is really, really nice. The reason I got this is because the drill bits are perfectly shaped and sized for bolter barrels. And it's quite nice. But the only tool I say you need that they make is this, because this is the best tool you will ever buy in your entire life. Ask Dad. Ask anybody in chat who's got one of these, because I said to get one. Colin's got one, Dad's got one. It's the best model making tool you will ever buy. Trust me. Trust me. It's better than using a knife blade because it's thick, it doesn't bend. And it will just leave a nice, smooth, flat surface without lots of bite marks and scratch marks. It's brilliant. I just love mine. And it's halved my cleanup process by, well, I kind of did that sentence really badly. It's halved it by half. That's a stupid thing to say. It's reduced my cleanup process time by half. I'll just give up on that sentence. Right, so we need some parts now. Shut up. I need 11, which I'm going to assume is this one. It's the big floor piece. You're a big floor piece. Yeah, a lot of the Games Workshop stuff, the tools, ignore all the tools. I mean, the pin vise is really nice. It's just overpriced. The tweezers, GTFO, they're stupidly overpriced. You can buy tweezers for £1 from a pound shop. and they're just goddamn tweezers. Their file set I haven't tried, but I'm sure they're fine, but I'm sure they're also a bit overpriced, because you can just buy cheap files from your local hardware store. The pin device, like I say, is overpriced, but it's good. It is a good pin device. But this, you need one of these. Even if you're not making Warhammer stuff, trust me. This, when I built my large 1/48 scale Eagle transporter, the cleanup process, which took probably, if you had it all together, about 45 minutes for the whole kit, for all the parts, would have taken me hours using something else. So, yeah. I do recommend that tool. Let me show you my tool. It's very impressive. My most impressive tool. I don't know where I'm going with that one. Part number. I don't want to look at the part number. There's really no point at all to me looking at a part number, because it's just pointless. They're not in any order. I did notice as well in the first issue of that Warhammer Conquest. Have you noticed how in the first one, when you build the 3 guys, it just happens that the first guy is like part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the second guy is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and then the fourth guy is, and it kind of goes in numerical order. It's quite cunning the way they do that on the first few you build, because once you get into it, there'll be no such convenience. Once you start building proper kits, yeah, you won't have any kind of consistent way to know where parts are. Don't lull yourself into that sense of security. 81, which is this one. So the detail on this floor pan is beautiful. You've got all this sort of texture on the floor area and different bits. You can have fun weathering that. It's like when I did my Storm Wolf and I did the interior on that. It was beautiful, sort of crew bay, transport bay, and then you close the door and it's all gone. And most people just play with it closed. So I'm going to do some internal painting, I think. Not too much. I mean, if I ever build one of these, you know, to sell, or just for my own thing, not for my own army, then yes, I would do a full interior job. Look at that. I mean, look at this. It's got, that's beautiful. It's got, it's not going to fix, I've not cleaned it yet, but you've got all the seats there. You've got the leather texture on the seats for the inside. You've got this beautiful floor texture. There is a dashboard, a full dashboard. You've got the bit where the dude sits. Lovely floor texture and panels in the floor. It seems a shame to just dump that in and then plonk the roof on. It's shut forever. So yeah, I will be having fun painting that. No, what we're doing. I'm going to look at the quick chat. $4.99 for the kit, characters and paint. The cancel subscription. It says Herculeus. Yeah, I mean, when it gets to theoretically, when it gets to £8 an issue, you're still actually, if you're getting like a number of figures, you're still actually saving money, because like that first one you get with the 3 Space Marines, that's £10 worth of plastic. And yes, you get 3 paints. The second one, you get another £10 worth of plastic with the 3 dudes, and then you get 1 paint, which is like £3. So it's less of a saving at $4.99. But even when you get like 3 dudes or 4 dudes and maybe no paints, you're still going to pay less, and you're still paying less for that magazine than you are for the actual if you went out and bought the figures. So they're still worth it. It's just if you can afford it, because it's £25 a month. But ultimately, you're probably looking at, if I remember rightly, it comes out with the whole, if you go to the all 80 issues, it comes out at about 600 and something quid for about 900 quid worth of plastic kit and equipment. So you will save money in the long term. I just haven't got the finances at the minute to spare £25 a month to do it, much as I would like to. But I'll probably pick up the occasional one here and there, just for, because even just going to the shop and spending 7, 8 quid on 10 quid worth of plastic dudes, I've just saved £2 already. So there you go. Okay, so what I'm doing in chat, I'll have a look at chat in a minute when I'm not waving a knife around for obvious reasons. Nubbing. Gouging a big thing in the plastic. Fantastic. There you go. Brilliant. Big gouge. Never mind. It's going to be a weathered vehicle anyway. It's not the end of the world. I got issues. Cooley says he got 2 issue 1s, then subscribe for 2, and I have 3 plus kit. Then we'll cancel when they arrive. Defo worth it. If Foxx doesn't answer you, grab that sponsorship. To James Chapman. What does James Chapman say? Is that issue 2, Aculeus? What was the question? Yes, you can cancel at any time, but you have to give 28 days notice. It's the same way most part works work. Because they count on the fact that once you've done a few, you'll kind of be like, oh well, I may as well keep it going, because at this point I get this other thing, or I get this, or I get that. I mean, if you're just into the Warhammer stuff because you like to make the Warhammer models, and not because you want to play the game, then it's like, okay, there's not so much benefit to getting both a Space Marine and a Death Guard army, and all the vehicles and all the scenery. The scenery is kind of useless to you. But if you actually want to play the game, then it starts to be like not such a bad proposition, because you're getting 2 armies basically, a load of scenery, some of which is since discontinued apart from in this set, and all the other bits and bobs. And don't forget, of course, the big thing, which is what I would have done if I was subscribing to it, is I would have subscribed to it. I would have then built both armies, the Space Marine and the Death Guard. My plan would have been then to choose one of them to keep and sell the other one, thereby making half the money back. So if you're a maker painter, there's always the option as well of selling half of the army that you don't need. If you only can play one of them, sell the other one. You don't need it. Make some money back off it. See? I might be up there, I'm down there, I'm dancing, but up there I'm thinking. Doodles, I'm sad I didn't know how much of a steal the first issue was, or I'd have nabbed a bunch of them. Don't forget, I'm giving 4 away to patrons. I think you've already put a comment on there. So I do have 4 of these puppies to give away. And don't forget, it also comes with an awesome poster as well, which I won't get out. I've taken the magazine out of the packing because it's got all the gluey stuff on it. But I've kept in all the little flyers and the poster and everything else. So when you get it, if you do win one of these, because I've got 4 to give away, you'll get that with all the bits and bobs, and you'll get the plastic and the paints and the crappy brush. I'll just put it in a little box. I just didn't want to be sending a massive card through the post, because that would have just sucked. Ooh, that's a plan, Fox, says Aculeus. Yeah, sell half of it back. 4 has 6 issue 4's got 6 Poxwalkers, if I remember rightly. For which I'd be more than happy to pay £8 for 6 Poxwalkers, because it's £8. But yeah, I mean that was my original plan, was to subscribe to it and then sell 1 army. Originally. Okay, so I'll just get these bits sanded and cleaned up. And then I think it's time to do some stickery giveaways and that kind of shenanigans. Give me a second while I do this little bit of filey. Filey, have her. I do like the Games Workshop plastic, it's so nice. I would never have used files until I started doing GW kits, because their plastic is so nice to use a file with. You don't have to worry about excess sanding marks and things like that. Some plastics, if you file it, you've got a hell of a cleanup on your hands. Games Workshop, just hit it with a file, get a sanding stick like this one, medium grit, bam. Bob's your uncle, Fanny is your aunt. goes there. And then I will catch up with the chat in a moment, so do continue to talk amongst yourselves. Remember, if you're watching and you haven't got access to the chat, if you can see the chat here, where's the camera? If you can see the chat there, but you can't see the actual interactive chat that's on the YouTube page, you can't get into it, then just hit the YouTube icon in the bottom right hand corner of the video player, wherever you're watching it, and you will see the little YouTube icon. Click that, it'll take you to the YouTube page where you can actually join in the live chat. And it's worth joining the live chat because everybody in the live chat is awesome. Hey live chat, give me a whoop. I'm waiting. Every live chat awesome, and we're going to do some sticker giveaways in a minute. And you need to be in the live chat to win the stickers. So I'll just get this bit sanded and cleaned up. There's all the internal stuff, so I don't need to worry about these being clean. I just need to get rid of the nubs, because you're not going to see any of these bits. They're all little side walls inside. So this I don't have to care about getting it nice and tidy. This is just to make sure it fits. How are we doing with this above angle, by the way? Is it better than trying to do the side angle? Thought I'd just try a direct above angle this time, just because it's easier to see what I'm doing rather than sideways where my hand gets in the way all the time. Right, so which is the front? Somebody sent me an email, and the email was, I shall find out in a moment. Oh, got some more questions. Thank you from NG Isaac, or Eng Isaac. I'm Isaac, you know me as... Oh, thy creator. Oh, hello there, thy creator. Excuse me. Right, we should do some questions and things in a moment. Right, where do these bits go before I start gluing them on? Is this one of these just glue it roughly in place things? Oh, I see. It has a little attachmentator. Okay, well that goes there. And it looks like the floor pan just kind of goes in. Just kind of goes in like that. Cool. We should do that in a moment. Well, I'll just get rid of this crud off the side first. Get these glued in, and then we'll do some stickery giveaways and shizzle. This is where you take a leap of faith with Games Workshop now, because I'm going to glue this bit in the floor there. It's got a little thing that attaches it, which is fine. I'll do that now. This is where you kind of take a leap of faith with the floor pan that I get it in the right place. Because it would be just my luck. Because this bit's fine. This bit only fits one way. And it has a little detent to go in place. That's fine. But the floor just sits in place. So you assume that's in the right place. But you won't know until you then come back later and try and attach other parts of it. So I'll get this bit glued in. So it just goes in there like that. I'm just going to hit it with the extra thin. Glue it in with the extra thin. Now again, I'm not being super duper careful here with the glue. I mean, extra thin will just disappear down to the gaps and won't leave much of a residue behind. But again, this will be interior, so even if I build it with the roof removable, it'll be hard to see anyway because it'll be dark. But I'm going to do some weathering on the interior as well, so not the end of the world if there's a few little... There shouldn't be any because it's extra thin, but a few little like rough bits where the glue goes a bit squidgy, that's fine. I'm not fussed. Oh, hello, something happened. Ooh. Thank you very much, Fortune Cougar, for your little pledge on Patreon. Thank you very, very much. I really, really appreciate that. That's very, very super kind of you. Very, very super kind. Don't forget, now that you're a patron, please do go and enter the giveaway for the issue 1 of the Warhammer thing. Just follow the instructions. It'll be like the second or third post down on the Patreon page. It'll tell you how to do it. There'll be a video there for you to watch. Don't forget to go and do that. And do enjoy some of the exclusive stuff on there. The content. There's the Master Chief 3. There's the 3-foot Master Chief build that's on there. That's Patreon exclusive. There's the SD Kshatriya build. And there's something else, and I can't remember what it was. There's something else on there as well. Okay, so that bit's a little rough there, so I'll sand that bit later when the glue's dried. Floor pan done. Right, let's put that to one side. Just a pile of nonsense here. It is time to do stickery giveaways and stuff. So, where's the lid for my stabity? There it is. Carefully locked away in this careful place. Right. I'll quickly check the chat, make sure I'm not missing something, and then we'll go and do some sticker giveaways. My chrome pen has stopped working, says Totally Scale Models. Pump the nib up and down, says Fester. Says Colin, yes. Andy Butch said, I'd been far more interested if it hadn't been Death Guard. I can't be dealing with them. Yeah, I'm kind of 50-50 about Death Guard. They're kind of like awesome to look at, but they're kind of like a nightmare to paint, it would seem. But also immense fun to paint, because they're filthy dirty, and therefore, yes. Okay, so the Repulsor is a 3-sprue kit. It's going to be interesting to see what they'll be doing with that, says Aviad. I don't know if it'll be the actual Repulsor kit that you get from the shop, or whether they'll simplify it down. I don't know. I can't imagine they'll do a separate Repulsor kit just for this issue, so it'll be like, they'll either have a sprue in 3 different issues, because they've got to pad it out for 80 issues, don't forget. So, yeah, don't know how they're going to do that. Smooth hasn't found any. They're like rocking horse poop to find. Right. Okay, okay. Right, so I think I'm up to date with the chat. I haven't missed anything. I don't think. Okay, right, so let's do some giveaways. Let's do some stickery giveaways. So it is time... Hang on, there's debris there. It is time for sticker giveaways. One of which says, hang on arse on the back. Probably. I can't guarantee you'll get this one. It's just in the pile of stickers to give away now. So somebody somewhere, at some point, either from this show or at some point, will get a sticker that says, hang on, arse, on the back. Yeah. There you go. So we'll have 3 sticker giveaways. So what we're going to do is I'm going to head over to my emails. We have some sticker giveaway questions. Let's have a look and see. That's the thing from Fortune Cougar. Thank you very much, Fortune Cougar. I really appreciate that. Right. I shall do one from all 3 of you that sent me some questions. Okay, right. First question is from Gerwin Moores, and yes, Gerwin, I will send you that sticker. Don't worry. Gerwin Moores. Let's have a look. It's a Warhammer question. For once, hooray! I've got realised I'm checking my email on here, and then I've also got the chat on there. It's going to be interesting to try and do this. So, this is going to be a sticker giveaway. So, as always, don't forget, before Earl D says, I got the sticker with your Wi-Fi code on it. Wait, what? Yes, don't forget, wow, words. Right, let me start that again. By this point of the show, there's always a lag between pictures and sound. So before we do any sticker giveaways, everybody just hit refresh button on their browser, whatever you're watching this on, refresh the page, and when it's refreshed, drag the slider bar all the way across the right so you make sure you're right up to date with the video. I'll give you a few seconds. I shall have a swig of coffee while I do that. Oh. So everybody refresh. Everybody look at the moon. Done it, says James Chapman. Cool. If James has done it, that means all of you have done it. So we're ready to go now. Right, so let's go. Let's do this question. So let's do the first one. The first one, like I say, is from Gerwin. And it's a 40k question. So are you ready? Ready. Okay. In 40k, here we go. In 40k, what book heavily influenced Space Marines and power armor in general? Go. Which book heavily influenced 40k, Space Marines and power armor in general? Go. This is the everybody answering music. Straight away there, bam, we have Aviad Madar says Starship Troopers. Well done, that is the answer I have on the email from Going. So Aviad, the regular winner. Yes, you've won yourself a sticker. Well done. Send me, I know I've already got it, but if you win anything tonight, you need to send me an email with your name and your address so I know where to send stuff and what you've won. So Aviad, just tell me you've won a sticker. Well done. So send me an email. Email address is here, fox@modelmakingguru.com. Email with your name and your address and tell me you've won a sticker. That's one done. Yay! Well done. Don't forget, of course, I go off whatever the answer is on the email. I assume it's correct. I don't do any research. I just, whatever you tell me, there you go. Although Going does send me links to wikis and things to tell me to sort of back these up. So yeah, yes, Going, I will send you the Big E model sticker, no problem. Okay, the next one, I shall use one of Nim's questions. He says, I don't need any more stickers, but if you have one that aren't Team Inept or Model Making Guru, I'll take one of those once you figure out if you have any to give. Okay, I'll see if we've got one. I might have a big dad sticker to send you. Right, so random historical facts for this one. Do one of these. Okay, everybody ready? Right, here's a question. Again, I assume these are correct. Right, who was the richest person in history adjusting for inflation? Go. Who was the richest person in history adjusting for inflation? I've never heard of this person. Beano Annual 1975 influencing it. Real person, Balaclava Bob. Aviad Madar again, straight in. Mansa Musa. Aviad Madar getting all the right answers, guys. You're all a bit slow on this, aren't you? I don't know. Aviad Madar obviously knows all the things. Yes, Mansa Musa, adjusting for inflation, his fortune would be worth $400 billion. I could do with a bit of that. Thank you very much. I don't know who Mansa Musa was. I'm sure I'll be checking it later on, though. So well done, Aviad. That's 2 stickers. So when you send me an email, just don't send me an email yet, Aviad. Wait till we finish the giveaways, because you might have 3 stickers to send. That's 2 stickers. If I've got any of the other ones, I'll make it a Guru one and a different one. But if I've only got Guru ones, I'll send 2 Guru ones. I don't know what you like. Mansa Musa. Somebody look up. It was the first. Osric 9000 says the first emperor of China. Aviad Madar says I did a damn paper on him. Well, there you go then. There you go. Tell us who he was then, because nobody knows who he was. Speedy Curate says he's done a check on the magazines for the Warhammer thing. He says deliveries monthly, so 4 per delivery. Clippers, glue scraper with the first delivery. Binders with the 3rd. Paint handle with the 4th. Brushes with the 7th. There you go. Backification is in. Hello, boys. Welcome, welcome. He was the 14th century emperor of Mali. Says Nim Cinderin. There you go. Anyway, right, so we've got one more sticker to do. Right, so welcome to the great Aviad giveaway. So we'll see if Aviad can win this one. I don't know. We'll do one of Isaac's questions. Thy creator. He says, Isaac, you know me as thy creator. This is the first time I'm writing an email to you. Here are some questions for the stream. Thank you very much. You did forget to put your name and address in the email, though. So you need to send me a name and address on an email so I can send you a sticker. Because you get a sticker for if I ask you questions. So don't forget to send me your name and address. Thy creator. Right. Okay. Here we go. Now this just goes to show if you've been watching the stream from earlier on. Here we go. Question. What is the best model making tool you will ever buy? Go. Go. What is the best model making tool you will ever buy? If you were paying attention earlier on. Aviad Madar again with the mold line remover. You guys are all snoozing today, aren't you? Wow. So basically Aviad's won himself all 3 of the stickers. There you go. Done. There you go. It was a bit of a clean sweep today, dude. There you go. Well, that's the thing. You can enter as many times as you want. You can have as many stickers as you like. So basically, Aviad, just send me an email saying please send me like 3 stickers, and I'll send you. I'll try and mix them up a bit. If I've got spares, I'll mix them all up. If I've got any of like a car, I've got one of I might have some of Carl's and some of Dad's left, so I'll mix them up. Just tell me to send you 3. Well done. He's 3 out of 3. There's a reason he's the stream boss, says Alicart. Yeah. Right, so that's them done. Well done, Avid. Avid? No, not Avid. Aviad. Well, Avid's a video editing piece of hardware. Right, so that's the stickers done. I don't know, that was a bit of a clean sweep, wasn't it? Right, so what's left now? Right, now we have to find out what we're giving away from last week. So if you remember, last week the prize was the Gundam Mark II AEUG real grade kit. I'm going to wonder if Aviad's put a comment on the video now. If you haven't put a comment on last week's show already, you've got about 30 seconds to do it. So all of you out there, if you haven't done this yet, to win this, I'm going to pull a comment off last week's video. So this was the prize last week, was the Mark II Titan, the Mark II Gundam Titans, you know what I mean. So let's, not Transformers Spid. So let's find out if you've won it. So we need to do a bit of screen sharing. So I need to do, what do I need to do? I need to go. Did we lose sound there again, folks? Oh, right, this is getting on my nerves now. Okay, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Oh, I'm back. Am I back with you? Can you hear me? Right, I'm going to do a quick setting, so stay there a second. This is where you get to see a bit of how the sausage is made now. Right, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me at this exact point in time? Can you hear me? Can you hear me clicking my fingers? Yep. Okay. Right. Cool. I don't know what's gone on here. Something's just gone horribly wrong, and everything's broken. So, right. So we'll do the window capture again. Right. So, can you hear me now? Can you hear me? I shall keep talking for a moment. Are you seeing the YouTube page and me talking at the same time? I shall give it a second for you to say yes. Yes, yes, yup, right, no. Scale model vamp, no. Oh. James Chapman says, Fox, if I win, I'm going to give it to my daughter and call it a baby pla. Oh, right. Right, so here's last week's video. I'm going to have to go and shout at the software later on. Here's last week's video. I asked you last week, I said to put a comment on there. An amusing, if you want, amusing potentially, but not necessarily true, but can be if you want, fact about robots. And we had many, many amusing comments and many comments that were just interesting. Robots are cool because robots. Do I need to quantify that, says Nim Cinderin. Random passerby says, fact about machine versus robots. Machines can precisely repeat predetermined motions. Robots can do that too, but they can do even more. Robots can be programmed or given instructions to perform many tasks. So even when the task they have to do is changes, we do not have to change the robot. Yes. Orewa Gandamu. Orewa. I was about to sing it then. That means Gundam get up or Gundam fly, doesn't it? It is estimated that more than 1 million industrial robots are in operation today, with the majority being in Japan, so having a fully operational Gundam is not far from the future. The word robot comes from the Czech word for robota, which means forced labour, says Kev Lawson. Frozen Zulu says the right thing, which is Gundam robots are better than Transformer robots, although they're not really robots, they're vehicles. Gundam's not robots, they're like fighter planes with legs. But we'll let you off. Tim Kirshner says there is no truth in flesh, only betrayal. There is no strength in flesh, only weakness. There is no constancy in flesh, only decay. There is no certainty in flesh, but death. The Credo Omniscire, his favourite fact and passage from the Machine God Way. Yeah, you got to love a bit of Warhammer. Right, anyway, I'll shut up. So we've got lots of comments from there. We shall, quite a few of you actually, because it's surprisingly quite a popular prize. So we shall copy the URL and put it into the random YouTube comment picker, which picks YouTube comments randomly off our YouTube video. We have 72 comments. This may have gone down better than the metal buffing powder that I had the week before, or the week before that. So, yeah. Right, anyway, so we have 72 comments. Let's see if Aviad wins this one. Let's just see. Ready? 3, 2, oh god, this could go wrong now. 3, 2, 1, go. Ryzen, a Gundam is not a robot. Well, he says the absolute correct thing, and he also wins himself the real grade. So Ryzen, a Gundam is not a robot. Well done, dude. I shall come back to me. 1 second. I shall come back to me. There we go. Ryzen, a Gundam is not a robot. Well done. You have won yourself at this beautiful, beautiful real grade kit. So there you go. Well done. Send me an email. Foxx, where has it gone? Foxx@modelmakingguru.com. Email address there. Send me an email to foxx@modelmakingguru.com with your name, your address, your phone number, just in case I need it for the delivery, and just say that you've won the Gundam Mark II, the real grade Gundam, and I will get that off to you. Now, as always with prizes, don't forget, of course, I don't send them out straight away. I tend to build them all up for a few weeks until the end of the month when I get paid from you guys, and then I can afford to do all the postage and packing. So it doesn't go out straight away. It'll be in the next few weeks. Just as an example, when I did the last lot, it was about 70 quid worth of postage and mailing to everybody, so it's not cheap. So I usually build them up towards the end of the month and then wait till Patreon payday, and then I get everything sent out. So if you're waiting for stickers and prizes, don't panic, they will get to you. So well done, Ryzen. Send me your email address. No, send me your name and address on an email and tell me you've won the Gundam, and we'll get it sent off to you. I'm going to have a swig of coffee. Oh, because we're not done yet. I'm gonna have to check the microphone on this one, aren't I? Hang on. Right, if I go quiet again, I'm going to make sure it's set up. 1 second. Right, can you hear me now? Right. So I think I've now set up the microphone to do that bit. So I'm going to get the music ready. Are we ready? I messed it up. Let me do that again, because now the music wasn't playing. Everything's going wrong today. Something's against me. Oh. I give up now. I give up now. Okay, can you hear me? Something's obviously gone horribly wrong with my setup here, so I'm assuming you can hear me. My thing says you can hear me. I'm hoping you can hear me. I'm waiting for you to say yes. The Queen has arrived. We heard that. Yes, yes, right, cool. Okay, so if you've not seen one of these before, then this is the wheel of giveaways, where basically I have a big pile of prizes and kits and things to give away, and this will pick what the prize will be. Now, if you've noticed, I said this a few weeks ago, but in case you missed it, there don't seem to be many things on there right now. That's because I've just dropped down. I've actually got a massive stash of stuff that you guys have sent me to give away, kits and books and all kinds of things. But it's too much for me to have all available whenever I do this game. So I've only got a small selection here, and then as these go down, I'll add more things from the stash that's in storage in the front room. So this isn't everything. We've got a smaller selection. I'll just add things to the wheel as time goes by. So this is the selection we have right now. So shall we spin the wheel and find out what we're giving away this week? So, are you ready for the most annoying noise in the world? Ready? 3, 2, 1. Also, this has stopped working. It doesn't tell me what the prize is, I have to guess. Right, the prize will be Canadia, eh? Okay, so I need to try and remember what Canadia is. So, let me press the magic music. We'll come out of there, and I'll show you. Let me just get it. Hang on. Right. I have it here. This is the problem of trying to do a stream on your own with no one else to do all this stuff for you. Right, so let's close this down. There we go. Yes, the Canada A prize is the Airifx BAE Hawk 100. See, Canada. That's why I said Canada. It's this very heavy and quite old 1/48 scale BAE Hawk. It's got 2 times decals. It means 2 sets. You can do Canadian or Australian. It's from Mr. Models in London. And it was £9.95p 100 years ago when it was made. This is quite an old kit, and I think this may have actually been discontinued. I'm not sure. But it's quite big, quite meaty. I've shown it before. It has the old style Airifx destructions, or black and white artwork rather than anything cool. It has 2 sets of markings, as a lot of people call them. So 1 million different decals. They are showing a bit of age there. So this isn't a new kit by any long chalk, any long measure. It's a vintage kit. Has it got a year on it? I mean, it's got 2003, so it's 15 years old, this. At least it was released 15 years ago. I'm going to put the decals inside the instructions just for safety. There we go. It also has this 100 Years of Powered Flight Royal Aircraft Force Aerobatic Team brochure from 2003, which is very nice. Royal Air Force, very nice. There, all the red arrows there. So you can build this and have fun with this. It's very heavy. I think that's mostly the booklet. It's a very nice looking kit. I've been dying to give this one away. So it's the 148th BAE Hawk 100. It cost £9.95 in 2003. It has 2 lots of decals, which you don't get nowadays. Nowadays you just get the decals. And it's like, yeah, you got decals. What? Those days it was something special. And it's kind of an old classic Airifx kit. It's probably still around. Probably still exists. But I don't know. So, there you go. Yeah, you need a chat, Dolly says, totally scale model. I need someone else to sit here and keep an eye on the chat and do all the technical stuff. Scale Model Vamp says it's still not the most annoying sound in the universe when the wheel goes round. Can I make it do it even though I'm not on that page? Hang on, let's have a go. Yeah. Can you hear that? Yes, it still does it. Right, so anyway, that's the prize. Shut up. Shut up. Right, it's done. Right, so this is the prize for next week's winner pool. So, what do you need to do to win this vintage kit? All you need to do is wait till this show is finished. When the show is finished, it'll just become a normal video on my front page. You can either go through my videos section, or you can go to the playlist. There is a playlist for these live streams. All you need to do is find this week's show, this show now. Give it 10 or 15 minutes after the show finishes, and all you need to do is put a comment on the show. The comment should be, give me an interesting fact about Canada. I want to know an interesting Canadian fact. So tell me about Canada A. It doesn't have to be true, doesn't have to be funny, but it's good if it's funny. Give me an interesting Canada fact. That's what I want to know. So I want to know an interesting fact about my favourite place in the world. I don't know why I did that. I won't make that noise again. So give me an interesting Canada fact on this week's show when it's finished. And you can win yourself next week that BAE, what was it? Hawk 100. Hawk 100, yes. I've got no airbrush, so I'll pass on this one, says Backification. Rattle can, dude. Oh. Oh, you could always win it and put it to one side for the day when you do have an airbrush, because you will get an airbrush eventually. Zadster puts up almost a maple leaf, but it's close enough. Good luck, everyone, says Tony. Ooh, says thy creator. Camaro and always apologise for no reason. Canada, eh? I don't know why I have this love affair with Canada. I've never been. I probably never will go. I don't do travelling, but I'll probably never go. It just seems like a really nice place, and it's got the best national anthem in the world, and I just feel like if I did want to go to a foreign country at some point, I'd want to go to Canada. Where's my... There they are. Just because it seems like an awesome place. And one day I do want to try poutine, but that would require me actually going to Canada. So, yeah, I'm not really sure about that. 22. So yes, well done to everyone who won the stickers this week, Aviad. Well done to everyone who didn't win. Oh dear, that was fun, that was. Send me an email with your name and address. Right, so we need 22s for the bulkhead. That's 24, that's 22, bulkhead. And the firewall for the front of the cab. I kind of like the look of this Taurox, it's just the tracks that make it look dumb. Dumb as. 49. That will be a steering column. Now 49. This could be anywhere. We're going to be on the other sprue. Off I go to get shopping. See you maniacs later. Sandy McLeish, thanks for coming in, dude. Canada is Spanish for Glen. Thanks for coming in, Andy. Jamie Brown, got to go, everyone. Thanks for coming in, Jamie. You too. This chat thing, he says it's a maple leaf. It's not very maple leafy though. Go Leafs! Yeah, when I do like the thing on my videos, and I have the little maple leaves falling. They're not actually maple leaves, but it's the closest I've got. But for some reason they fall up rather than down, and that really annoys me. It's like there's some little pre-built-in effects on my video editing software, and I want them to be leaves falling, and they're leaves falling up, and it's like, what the hell is leaves don't fall up? What nonsense is this you'd give me now? So I don't know. So what have we got going on? And then James Chapman says Camaro and always apologise for no reason. Then he does his autocorrect kicked in, so he's corrected it to Canada always apologise for no reason. Yes, I did wonder why you mentioned Camaro. Camaro. Right, I've lost my knife now. Where's my stabber tip? There it is. I can't say Camaro without sounding like Frau Bow. Now, I don't know whether to glue this bulkhead in yet because it has the entire dashboard and everything on there, and I don't particularly want to be struggling to paint that when it's installed. I want to be able to paint it quite nicely, so I'm not sure yet. I might not glue this bit in just straight away. I do not know. So yes, I don't know where my affinity with Canada comes from. I have no idea. I don't know how it started. It may have just started because I found the national anthem and thought that's brilliant. I can use that in videos. I don't know, I've always kind of liked the Canadians. It's like, maybe Canadians are like what we would, the Americans we all wish we had, maybe. Like Americans with good beer. I don't know. Okay, so is that looking? That's not looking very flat. Little tricky little nub here that won't go away, even with the filing. Little burger. That'll learn you to resist my filing and sanding. Canadian folk are the second best at queuing. We are number one at that in the UK. Yeah, damn straight. And I'll join any line to make that point. I thought Swedes were best at queuing, says Backification. Canadians spell correctly too. Yep. Let's not get started with spelling. Okay, says Skill Model Muse. It's too early to brain. It's always too early to brain. I try and avoid braining as much as I can. Braining not guaranteed. Anyway, yes, here's a question, follow-on question that's not really following on at all. Where is everyone? What time is it where you all are? Where are you? I know where some of you are. I know some of you are in, like, you know, the US and some are in Australia. I know one of you who's now 3 stickers richer is in Israel. But where is everyone? Where are you all based? Just something to talk about while we're working. Right, this needs to go in there. options here. Need to go a particular way, or is it not really fussed? It needs to go that way. Okay. That's the steering column. Steering column. I tell you, if Games Workshop decided that, as well as their tabletop stuff, they were going to start doing like normal models, like, you know, World War II vehicles and planes and anything they wanted to do, modern armour and stuff like that. If they decided that they were going to branch out and do non-tabletop related stuff, seriously, they would give some of the big model manufacturers a major run for their money, because the quality standard of GW kits is fantastic. Now, how far do I want to go with this assembly-ating? That's the question. So look, Rusting Customs is in Scotland. George Flouter, it's 10 in the morning here in the US. Hinkley in Leicester, says Richard. Backification is Swedish but not blonde. That just seems wrong. Thy creator, it's 12 midnight here. Got to run before my dad gets pissed at me for staying up so late because I have school tomorrow. Don't go to bed, dude. Go to school. Also, headphones and under your duvet with the phone. Aviad Madar, finally done with pimping both nights. I need to settle for a colour scheme. He was thinking of deep greens and ivory maybe. Ooh, quite nice. It's noon now here. Just my morning, says Scale Model Muse. But where are you, dude? Nim says it's noon there and he comes from the land of the only American football team that has gone to the Super Bowl 4 times in a row and lost all 4 times. JS Idaho, not surprisingly, is in Idaho and it's 9 o'clock in the morning. Davey UK is oddly enough in the UK. Nim Cinderin says drinking town with a sports problem, or is it a sports town with a drinking problem? I don't know which one it is. Paul Di Tommaso, hey people, forgot about the live stream today. Alright, Dodie. Just so you know, so you don't have to go back and watch the complete show, that's this week's prize, the 1/48 Hawk vintage Airifx kit. I assume it's still in production, I don't know. It's very nice. I'm basically in Norway, says Scott Sutherland. You're basically in the Arctic Circle. So I don't want to glue this in or not. If I glue this in now, is it going to make painting a pain in the butt? Or is that going to be paintable? Might be fine to glue it in, I think. What comes after that, though? Let's have a look. After that, we have the walls. The walls go on the side. Then we have the little man who goes inside as well. Yeah, that's a stick. I have a little tiny fella that goes inside there like that. That's lovely. That's lovely. That is. Okay, so I think we can probably get away with gluing the firewall in, because I can still get in there to paint the doobie-doos and the bits of details without any major hasslings. I think I can get away with that. I think I can do that. That should be alright. Oh, hello. That should be alright. That should be. Just need to make sure everything's lined up. How's it? Again, though, it's icy. It goes in this little groove here. Get in the groove. Being feeble. Hang on. There we go. Groove-tacular. This is where, if you're doing any kind of lighting, you'd probably use the engine bay that's going to be hollow as a receptacle for your lighting shenanigans. If you're going to put, say, a crew light in the back compartment, or if you're going to put like lights on the dashboard or something like that, I don't know. It don't have to be neat down there because it's stuff you're never going to see. Glue down there. Again, I'd have to be careful with the glue here because this is the floor area where A, you're not going to see, and B, even if you did, I'm going to make sure there's dirt and dust down there anyway, because that's where you get dirt and dust in the car. You go and look underneath where all your pedals are, you want to get hoovered down there, trust me. It's not pleasant. Okay, so that is that. I think that's all in the right place. This is where you do this and then realise you've glued it in the wrong place and it's all gone horribly wrong and everything's gone horribly wrong. And yeah. So get that front wall glued in. in? Is that not in? I can't tell if that's straight or not. I think it's straight. It's hard to tell because it's not necessarily just a straight up shape. It seems to be in. Seems to be. I think. Very strange. I need to make sure that is actually in the right place. Okay, what we'll do, because it seems to be a little bit, it seems to be 90 degrees to the chassis, but I can't quite say for sure. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get piece 21 and piece 21, piece 21, which is the sidewall for the engine compartment. Just quickly clean this up. Just I want to do a quick test fit and just make sure. So that would go there like that. Would that actually fit? Yeah, see, it seems to lean backwards, which is weird. I don't know why it leans backwards a bit like that, when it actually seems to fit right. I've cleaned all the nubs away, but it seems to not want to sit there like that properly. So what we'll do is we will glue this on here, see, like this, was it? And we shall glue that down there. And I shall just hold it for a second in place. And that should just mean that hopefully going forward, when that locks into place, the forward bulkhead there is at the right angle. It just seemed a bit slopey, like leaning forward or backward. I wasn't quite sure, but it didn't seem to be in quite the right place, which was weird. So I'm going to hold this for a minute now. So what's chat doing while I'm holding this like a spoon? Who won last week's model giveaway, says Paul Di Tommaso. It was Ryzern. Ryzern won last week's real grade Gundam. Smooth Workshop. Has anyone ever noticed that LOL looks like a man drowning? Yeah, or a guy trying to call a plane into land, doing the thing with the glowy sticks. Sir, you are the boss Ross of modelling. I applaud you, says Phil Cruz. Thank you very much. You mean Bob Ross, right, Phil, says Snim. Hopefully not Boss Hog. It's all gone wrong in the chat there. Right, so that is slowly gluing. I'm under no illusions that that is a particularly good bond, but I need to hold it there. I could tape it, I suppose. That might equally work as equally well. Equally. I'll just keep saying equally. But I need to let my finger off it for a second. Make sure it all goes wrong. Doodle doo doodle doodle doo. Shouldn't really use the expensive Tamiya tape for that, but never mind, it's too late now, can't go back. That didn't go very well. It's sticking to everything on the desk now as well, which is not handy. Right, get that there. That's not very tight though, is it? Oh dear. Oh dear. There we go. Well done. That just didn't work out as planned at all. What the hell is that supposed to be now? I don't know. All gone wrong. Is that actually sticking there? That might be sticking okay, actually, I think. There we go. Just a bit of tension on it so it pulls it forward. Holds it in place, almost. Kind of. It's not... Yeah, I might take it back about the Games Workshop. This one's having some fit issues here. I don't know if fit issues is a bit of a harsh word, I suppose. Not really fit issues, but behavioural issues, let's just say. Leave that for a minute to dry. there just to lock it in place. That should be fine now. I just need to leave that for maybe 5 or 10 minutes just to kind of lock in place. At least I know that because this side wall here on the engine compartment fits, theoretically now everything else should fit as well. Of course, there's no guarantees. If I should end up with any panels that don't quite fit together, that's where plastic card and a bit of scratch building comes in, really. It's a calm voice with artful building and wonderfully entertaining chatting. So I'm not Bob Ross then. Neither artful nor calming. Where am I? What day is it? Says Smoo. Today, Smoo, is Chinese takeaway for tea day. That's what day today is. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave that for 5 or 10 minutes just to let those two pieces bond together and set in place. Hopefully that should now be lined up. Sometimes you get that when you get one piece that it seems like, because it's not like pegs and holes, it's just it sits in a specific location. And there's some leeway there for it to be off kilter. So what I like to try and do is get another piece that links into it and get them together, so at least I can know they're lined up. Otherwise, if that was off, then you might have a gap between that, and then you try and put the wall on here, and it might not fit because that's too far back. So you've got to... It's always good to get like one piece and just kind of get it the right way. At least then if there's a gap between, say, here and here, these two walls, I can bodge it with some plastic card or make some greebles that will cover it up or something like that. Or I could just use putty to fill the gap. You've got a lot of choices, but I'd rather have one gap than a gap and a piece that doesn't fit. Right, so if we're waiting for that bit, I can't really do much with that now. That's a bit annoying. So driver assembly. It's going to want to be one of these, paint the torso and paint the wheels and stuff separately on that one, isn't it? Let's have a look. So this is the Taurox. I'm not doing the Taurox. I'm looking off camera there. My apologies. I could start on the driver, but I can't glue him in place yet because I need to glue his arm with the steering wheel in afterwards to make sure it all fits. To make sure his arm's in the right place. So what I'll probably do is I'll paint the lower torso, the lower part of the driver is one thing, build the torso without the arms on, and get them painted up, and then get the head on the torso, and then just kind of at the last minute glue it all in place. I think so. We'll get the figure, get him sorted out while this dries quietly in the corner. So we need, I can do this visually, I think. 85 is the dude sat sitting. 85. For some reason, it's the one bit that excites me about this entire vehicle is the dudes that sit inside it. I don't know why. I don't know why. The idea of like making Warhammer dudes is cool, but making Warhammer dudes that go inside something as well. 61 and 91. So 61 is the steering wheel and 91 is the torso. So I want the torso. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll have to leave the arms off him. I think... I mean, if I can dry fit the lower torso in, then I can dry fit... Oh, I like all the detail on the back of his seat. He's got like a knapsack and a grenade and everything, and a rifle. There's a little bolt rifle there, a little las gun. Cool. There's lots of detail to paint on there. If I can dry fit him in there, once all this tape's off, then I can probably dry fit the arms. Because if I can glue the arms to his torso in advance, I'd much rather do that than have to then put his arms on later and risk messing up the paint job. But we'll see. I need... 61 is the wheel. I'll leave the wheel for now. 95 and 93 are the arms. 95 and 93, there we go. Now there are 2 shoulder pads here, so pauldrons, but he's not shown with pauldrons. However, there is the little guy that goes in the upstairs cockpit, and he's a normal Tempestus dude, and he has also no pauldrons. I guess they're just optional like everything else, aren't they? Optionale. Oh no, yeah, I was supposed to put pauldrons on those too. So that's for the gunner. And then you have some pauldroniums. And I think the gunner should have the the proper Scion helmet, because I like the proper Scion helmet. And he should have I like the one with the crest on it, the shoulder pauldron there, that's quite nice. But having said that, which top does he get? That's cool. Just making sure I've got the right top there. Yeah, that's for the gunner. There's a guy with some goggles, a normal dude who looks like a normal Astra Militarum, or there's a guy shouting, or I can use a normal Scion head. Oh no, you've got a Scion head, or you've got a chap with a jolly good handlebar moustache, I say. That is a very jolly good handlebar moustache. And a monocle, it looks like. They tried to give him a monocle of some sort. You won't see it on camera, but he's got this awesome handlebar. He's like, oh, I say, jolly good. There's a steering wheel. Right, so steering wheel. I'll leave the steering wheel off because I don't need that just... Oh, no, I do actually. I'm just muttering to myself. You guys just carry out and chat. I'm just muttering to myself now. So I've got the lower, I've got the torso, I've got the helmet, the head. Face-wise, I shall give the driver... he can have the goggly head, I think, the head with the goggly on it. I'll actually give him a face of face rather than a face of helmet wearing. Oh, I don't want to give him a normal Scion head because I like the Scion heads. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to raid the box. I don't want to paint faces. I don't want to paint faces on these guys. So I'm going to give him not one of those heads. I'm going to give him... There's no heads there. Oh. Fit all your heads. I can't have used all the Scion heads. Come on, there's got to be one I can use. Now, there's a head here that's not a Scion, but it's like a Commando, because I didn't use the Commando ones. But he's got a beret, and the other ones are just normal Scions, so I don't really want to use the... I was hoping I had another Scion head. I probably have somewhere, just not on these sprues. Oh, there we go. Yes, haha. I can use the head from the Tempestor, but cut the little spike off the top. Because I've already got the Tempestor built. I think that's a spare one. Am I off camera? Yes. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the head of the Tempestor, because I've already built one. And you can have that one, but I'll take the spike off. Because the Tempestor's the boss man, and he wouldn't be driving the car, would he? That would be a bit silly. There we go. Right, what's chat doing? Scale Model Mew says, it's okay, I think I've achieved proper coffee levels, I can paint now. Nimcinderin. Bob Ross is a painter that did have to paint. Oh, and everybody knows who Bob Ross is, don't worry. Everybody knows who Bob Ross is. Zadster says, like the 90s equivalent of Nancy Kaminsky, painting with Nancy. Yes, I remember the theme music. Why do I remember the music from Painting with Nancy? I do not know. Painting with Nancy scared me. Action Man head. Yes. Right, so I need to cut the spike off this Tempestor. Pew! Sorry, Tempestor, you've got no spike now. You're spikeless. Get this cleaned up. The only problem I love the heads on the Tempestor Scions. They're just a pain to clean up to get all the trim off because you've got all the little delicate sort of gold. I can't really show you. Let me see if I can zoom in. It might look a bit pants though. Let's have a look if I can zoom in at all. How much can I zoom in? Ooh, quite a lot. Sometimes it lets me zoom in a lot, and sometimes bugger all. Now it will be crappy quality image because you can't see anything. Where's the head? But yeah, I do like all the sort of the filigree and detail that you guys can't see because it's all zoomed in. And this means I can go off camera a bit easily as well now. But it makes it a pain for cleanup, which is why I'm using my knife blade because it's more subtle than the big doody seam line remover. So they are a pain to clean up, but they're really nice looking. I'm looking forward to trying to paint these heads and the uniforms. I'm really looking forward to painting them because I don't know yet. It's either going to be really good fun and they're going to come out looking brilliant, or it's going to be a right pain in the bum because of all the gold trim and stuff, and I'm going to hate them completely. I did not enjoy building them because I didn't like the split arms. The arms come in two parts, and to get them all in the right position and at the same time take into account the cables for the hotshot lasguns was a right ball ache. It really was a pain. They're beautiful sculpts, but they're a pain in the bum with the with all the joins and bits you have to line up. Those two-part arms are just an absolute ridiculous pain. Okay, try and get rid of that seam line there, but it's really hard to remove it without just making a mess. And I'm not using the seam line tool here because it's just like it's too big for this little tiny bits with all the little bits of detail. If it was a normal, you know, Imperial Guard with a chunky little helmet, it would be fine. But because it's a Scion with all the trim and filigree and stuff, I need to try and keep that clear. So you can see why it takes a while to build the Scions. They're not a quick build. I just hope they come out looking good, because it'll make it all worth it. Stop it. Copyright notice off Painting with Nancy Kaminsky Estate or something. Oh, sorry. My bad. Sorry, man. Sorry. Okay. Happy little Scions. Lol, says Nim. Proper amount of coffee is what you think is enough plus 2 unless you're running low, then it's approximately 2 more than you have left. See, I made a mistake today because when I got up I made myself an enormous coffee like this size. Wow, that is a bit significant. Let me zoom out a bit. I made myself my standard enormous coffee, and then I realised I've only got an hour to go till the stream and I've got to make another enormous coffee. Oh. So I'm a little bit buzzy right now. I'll zoom in a bit. I don't want to zoom in that much again because you only see so much anyway. Right, what are we doing? I've done the head. That's either going to be great fun or a pain in the arse to paint. I can't quite decide yet. And he appears to be wearing like a puffer jacket or something. It's not really... I'm not quite sure what's going on with his jacket there. It's like an inflatable puffer jacket. Or a life vest or something. He's not actually wearing a normal Scion. I know he shouldn't really wear a Scion head, but I don't want to paint a face. And I thought I'd just give him the Scion head. Why not? He's only a driver, but he can still have a good helmet. He still look good. Well, I don't know why he's wearing a puffer jacket. Like he's on a boat or something. He's a fisherman. A seam line. Let's have a look. A little bit of a seam line, but nothing major. Lower part of him. Look at the detail. Let's see if I can zoom in on this. You might see it, but might not come out, but on the detail on the back there, I know it's low resolution picture now, but you've got like a knapsack, and the Aquila on the knapsack, there's a grenade, there's a las pistol or something there clamped in there with some straps. It's great, like amount of detail that you're probably never going to see. Most people when they build this, they'll just close off the driver's compartment, the interior, and not pay it a second thought. Just not give it a second thought at all. Whereas me, I like to. My coffee would hurt you, Foxy, says Scale Model Muse. Yeah, if it's proper coffee, it probably would. Especially if I was drinking it in litres at a go. It would break me in probably far too many ways. Again, I'm not being too super detailed or careful with edges and cleanup here. Again, because it's only a tabletop level build I'm doing. If I was building this for like to sell it, I wouldn't have even got done as much as I've done so far today. I would have done half as much as I've done already. There'd still be a whole. I wouldn't have even have got past cleaning up the first few parts probably. I'll still be cleaning those up. So yes, this is not a display level, because the thing is I want to get my army built. If I start doing anything at like Shelf Queen display level just for my army, I'm going to be doing it forever and I'm never going to get anything built. So there's a certain trade-off. If I want to play with them, then I may as well just crack on and get it done. And there's certain things, like I said before, certain things I can't do anyway, because I'm doing it as a play build. Certain things that would not be feasible because they wouldn't stand up to the rigours of everyday playing, basically. So I've got that done, got that done, got that done. I can glue the head on. Oops, hello. I can try and glue the head on. Let us glue the head on, because why not? Let's not glue the head on backwards though, eh? That's probably a bad thing to do. He looks kind of looks like a Tempestus Scion on his day off, because he's got the helmet, but he's wearing like a puffer jacket, which is kind of weird, but endearing in a kind of funny way. Fail. So I was fussing there, that's why he's fell off. Bit of a wiggle. Little bit of wiggle. There we go. Yeah, it's weird, but he's like a Tempestus Scion on his day off, because he's not got the full uniform. He's not got the chest plate and stuff. He's just got his puffer jacket going on, but he's still got his helmet on, because of course he has. So we'll put him there. I'm going to put him on the thing for a minute, but just so his head's the right way up. He's kind of looking down there, so I'll tilt his head back a little bit. So he's not like looking down at the dashboard. He's kind of tilting his head at a jaunty angle a little bit. Just gives him a little bit of personality. I know you can't really see there. It's all out of focus and tiny. Can I actually focus on that at all? Let's have a look. Hang on. There you go. So he's got a little bit of a jaunty angle going on, but not massively. So I'll just set him down there so he can fall over. Yeah, that's fine. So you can sit there. Head can dry. I'm not going to glue the arms on yet, because I need to tally those with the I need to line those up with the steering wheel. I need to kind of get them all together, and I need to get the bottom part of the seat into the chassis just to make sure it's all in place and fits, and then tally that up with the arms. So what I can do is get the arms glued on and in place, but before I've glued the torso to the lower torso, if that makes sense. So I can separate them out and paint them separately. I don't want to glue him into the cab until all of him is painted, basically. So we'll just get the steering wheel done. And it's a bit of a cop-out here for Games Workshop, but they've not given him hands that hold the steering wheel. They've given him the kind of steering wheel where you have the blob on the wheel that you hold like that, which maybe makes sense. It's like a disabled thing that you get for disabled drivers, have the grip thing for the wheel. when they could have just sculpted him to be actually holding the wheel. But then again, maybe this kind of vehicle, maybe it makes more sense. I don't know. There's even a little skull on the centre of the steering wheel that you guys can't see. All this detail that 99% of people would just not even... There's people out there that will build this and they wouldn't even bother putting the figure in there. They wouldn't. They'd be just like, you know what, I'm just going to make the outside box and there you go, bang. There's nothing wrong with that. Some people just build this, they just want the vehicle to play. They're not fussed about, you know, getting the inside done and stuff. So I have to give Games Workshop kudos for actually building the interior when they didn't need to. 99% of people are never going to have the inside showing and never going to see it once it's finished anyway. So you give them kudos for that. They give you the option. I mean, things like, you know, the Valkyrie, of course you can see inside the cockpit, so you have to build the interior. But things like this, like a Lehman Russ, you get the guy in the turret. You don't get any of the interior. That's an older kit, I suppose, isn't it? So, but still, you have to give them credit for at least putting the interior in there. Inside the Stormwolf, again, you get the cockpit because you can see inside it. You get the crew area where all the crew stand. You can see inside it if you open the door, just about. Just about. There are some people that don't even put the tracks on it, says Kenneth. Why I order? I would never do such a thing, Kenneth. You should know that. I will always build the model as it is intended. I won't, really. I will always put the tracks on. See, there's the tracks. They're just slightly different shaped tracks. They're kind of self-contained tracks. Yes. Scale model Vamp Foxy. Ever tried Death Coffee or Valhalla Coffee? Oh, no. It's like that guy that was on Tested a few years ago. The guy that's actually a nuclear physicist and works in the Arctic base station or something. But he also makes some kind of coffee that you can drink like half a teaspoonful of a day, otherwise you'll have a heart attack. I can't remember what it's called. It's probably one of those two. But he's a genuine nuclear physicist. But he also makes coffee. Right, so that's the arms done. Like coffee turns Fox into a tiger. I had to leave for half an hour. Did I miss much, says Osric. I don't know. When did you leave? Half an hour ago. What were we doing? No idea. I've blinked since then. I think I can take at least this piece of tape off now. I think. That should be fine. It's still setting, but it'll be glued enough that I can do my little test with the driver. So that will go in there. So it just fits in beautifully. Look, there you go. I hope it should fit in beautifully. Should, he says, panicking because it's not. Okay. Should fit in beautifully. See, I don't even know if that's in properly. It's sitting on the little raised bit, but is that right or is that not right? I don't know. It's a very odd fit. Oh, there you go, his feet are on there. There we go. Helps if you put him in straight, I suppose. He's kind of at a funny angle, which is weird. Maybe his feet are wrong. I've not sanded his feet enough or filed them down perhaps enough. Bit of a lump there, you see. Not quite flat. There we go. Yeah, so what I need to do is I need to get him painted up the lower half first. And get that on. Get it glued in place. Which is not straight or lined up, which is weird. Which makes me worry that I've done something wrong. I've still got the Nancy Kaminsky music in my head. Thanks. I don't know why it's still there. It's just still there. So I'm going to have to do some fettling with him, I think. Because it's a very odd way of him attaching. I don't quite understand why he does it like that. That goes in at some funky angle. It doesn't seem to make that much sense. See, I don't want to glue him in, glue his arms onto his torso, and then find out later on that I had his lower half in the wrong place. because then nothing would make any sense. So I think what we'll do, we'll fettle with that later. I think we've got him mostly built now anyway, so that's fine. That's fine. I'm not going to put the steering wheel on there because I need to put his lower torso on there first. You can feel it when it is, Fox. It's an odd fit. Ah, yes, because Kenneth's made one of these. It just seems to not want to go in. It seems to, like, if you look at it, it sits comfortably but at a jaunty angle, which doesn't seem to make any sense. If I turn him a bit, I can get his right foot onto the pedal, but his left foot seems to not want to cooperate. And I can't see down in the other corner to see what his left foot's doing. So it seems to be like he wants to naturally spring to like that kind of slightly off kilter angle there, which is weird. And I'm very tempted just to cut this piece off and just glue it in place, but I don't know if that's the right thing to do, so we won't just go ahead and do that. I'll fiddle with that later, I think. Interesting. Right, so what's next? That's the bits for him. I shall put them in place. In fact, what I will do is get his torso out, because I don't want to get his head gluing in the wrong position. That's probably a bad idea. So he just looks like a, because he's got this kind of bubble jacket. He looks like a trucker in a windbreaker. That's what he looks like. He looks like we're in a windbreaker, and he's sitting with the arms sticking out of the cab of a truck or something. It's quite funny. It's quite amusing. We'll sit him there so he can dry quietly. An odd little way to attach it there. See, it would be much easier just to have two flat surfaces and perhaps a peg, but no, they've got this weird kind of plinth sticking up here, which seems to be a very strange shape. Maybe I just need to sand it back a bit. Maybe I've not sanded it correctly. Or file it or something, I'm not quite sure. Right, so what's next? What is next? Oh, I can build around the. See what I can do. I can build around the rest of the engine compartimenti, because that's not contingent. That's not contingent on me having built the rest of the cabin. So 6. I need 6. Let's get this shenanigans off. I'll leave them on there for a second. I've got about 20 minutes to go, so I can get a few bits done. So we need part number 6, which is the funny thing is, the weird thing is that it's only because I've not made one of these before that I'm having to do the thinking and the planning. If I'd made one of these before, it'd probably be assembled by now. I'm always a lot slower when I'm figuring a kit out for the first time and hitting the camera with the kit. So if I was making a second one of these, I'd be like, da 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 da, bing 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 bing, done. There you go, no problem. Because it's the first one, I don't know where anything goes. I'm a little bit slower. So I'll probably come across as looking completely incompetent. And it's not untrue, I completely am completely incompetent. Let's not mince words, Bones. I'm not going to deny that I'm completely incompetent. But I probably look a bit more incompetent than I actually am. Just because I'm kind of futzing around trying to figure out what goes where. Now I have to say, if you've never seen a Taurox, if you don't know what this is going to build into when it's finished, do pop into the Boom Hut and have a look at the one that Kenneth did. Kenneth's in the chat with us today. He finished one and posted up some pictures a little while ago, so you'll have to go through the chat for a while. He posted up some pictures of his Taurox and it's beautiful. He did an outstanding job on his. And now I know Kenneth's building his for his pleasure of building it, so he's building it to put all his heart and soul into it, so it looks beautiful and it's a display piece. So I'm not really doing mine as that, I'm doing mine just as a tabletop, but I've got to be honest, even if I put my full heart and soul into this, I don't think mine would look as good as Kenneth's. I'll be really honest. Go and check it out. Go and have a look. It's mint. It's better than the one in the box. Trust me, it's better than the heavy metal one in the box by far. James Lorimer, I'm back, by the way. I built 12 guys today from the subscription mag, bought the extra issue 2s. Cool, yeah, I found actually the Death Guard ones went together like a dream much faster than the Space Marine ones, because the Space Marine ones took an age to like clean up, and I also couldn't get the Space Marine ones to... Oh, that's not going to fit now, is it? See? I knew there'd be issues with... Oh, no, there you go. I couldn't get the Space Marine ones. The arms just wouldn't fit on at all. I had to just glue them. I had to cut the pegs off and glue them. So the Space Marine ones took an age to clean up because the plastic was weird. And they didn't fit together at all well. I had to end up gluing them all like a normal kit. So, but yeah, the Death Guard ones, I just built them. There you go, done. Just, no problem. Perfect. Put them together in half an hour. It's great. That's the two side walls. I can put the bonnet on. I think we can attach the bonnet now at this point. I think that's probably allowed. Up on this rate, it is allowed. I shall do it now. I like the bonnet on this because it's a proper old school vintage World War II vehicle style bonnet and front. And there is a little bit of me that likes the kind of old sticky out engine area on a vehicle. Laments the fact we don't have that anymore. You know, this kind of like sticky out engine compartment. It's a nice old thing. Thermonuclear Bobbington is in. Greetings all, he says. Welcome, dude. Andy's off. Andy, but you've got to go, guys. Have fun, everyone. Thanks for coming in, dude. Zester agrees that the week 2 ones are much better to fit together. Yes, so do go to the Boom Hut if you're not already in the Boom Hut. It's facebook.com/groups/model Boom Hut. It's the best group online for model making. It's my group, so everybody will love you. Yeah, go on, have a troll. Take you a while to find it because it'll be a bit fair down, but go and have a look at the one Kenneth did. It is fantastic. Now, this isn't going to fit now, is it? Yeah, everything's giving me trouble now. But only because I'm not familiar with this specific kit, that's why. Okay, so there is some... I think the issue may have been the grill, actually, not where I've put the... That's frustrating. So now the sidewalls fit, but that's too small for the bonnet. I don't get it. I don't understand. Am I missing something? Am I missing something here? It's giving me concerns that the walls that go behind the front firewall, this front bulkhead, may not be in the right place. It may not fit. I don't know. Let's file some of that down because that's a bit lumpy. James Larimore, who won? I guess I did not miss the RG giveaway. No, you did miss it. It was Ryzern won it. And the giveaway for this week is the... Oh, there we go. A little bit of flash on there that I hadn't, or a little bit of cutting residue. The prize for this week is the Airifx 1/48 scale Hawk 100 airplane. Let that be a lesson for you folks. Just like with Lego, Games Workshop, if it doesn't fit, you've done it wrong. It's not game. Yeah, there was a little tiny bit of like where I'd scraped off, and there's a little tiny molecule of plastic sticking out that was getting in the way and making it not fit, massively not fit. I was thinking, oh, it's not going to fit together, it's all rubbish, it's all gone wrong. No, it's you, Fox. You just didn't cut it off properly. You were a spoon when you cut it off. See, I love that bonnet. I do like the bonnet on this. That is a mint looking bonnet. It looks pretty good. It's just the bit with the tracks I don't like. So that's getting pretty cool in there. Now you might think, well, I've just glued that and it's got holes in it, and how am I going to paint inside there to get it black inside? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Because you're not going to see anything in there, and once it's painted, that'll just be black inside. Some things that you don't need to worry about. There's a little tiny gap there between the two pieces, but that's fine because it kind of looks like the kind of gap you'd have with a bonnet that's not maybe fully closed, or just a panel gap anyway on a vehicle. So I don't mind that at all. That one there is kind of sealed up a little bit, which is Takes the edge off it a little bit, I suppose. But yeah, just looks like a panel gap on a normal vehicle. I could fill it. I could get some sprue glue in there. And I might do. Give it a bit of a press. I might do actually. Get some tape. Get that tape back. The good thing with Tamiya Extra Thin is tape's not going to stick. It won't glue tape, so it doesn't really matter if you get tape where the glue is. There we go. I'll just hold that down for a second. For a few minutes. Yeah, I do like that. It's kind of like an Opel Blitz. My favourite World War II truck, an Opel Blitz. So zoom in a little bit so I'm not quite so far away. I do like that. It's looking kind of mint. I do like the front of it. It's just really nice. So we've got the bonnet on. Let's get some more sub-assemblies going, I think. What time are we on? 5:45. We'll tell you what we'll do. May as well call it there, I think. We'll call it there, because I've just got some sub-assemblies to do now, and then I've got to do some fiddling around with the figures and stuff. We'll call it there, call it a show. Next week, I'll have probably done a little bit more work on this. Probably next Saturday. I would suspect there'll be a bit more work done. Whether it'll be fully built and just in sub-assemblies for painting and primed, I don't know, maybe. But we'll see. But it will be all brush paint. There'll be no airbrushing on these. At least maybe not on... I might do a bit of airbrushing on Char's Zaku, because that's got to be nice and shiny. So that will be airbrushed. But all the other stuff, yes, this will all be brush painted. It's actually smaller than I thought it would be as well, which is weird. I thought it'd be much bigger. So I don't know what we'll be doing next week. Maybe painting. We'll have got around to painting. We'll see. But that's going to do us, I think. So let me just have a quick last look at chat. You're wasting the good stuff tape on that, says Aviad. Yes, I know. I'm running out of my 3M crappy auto tape. I need to go get some more from my local 3M stockist. But I have got hundreds of rolls of that Japanese stuff that's not Tamiya tape, but half the price. It's all different colours, and I can't remember what it's called. You know that tape that's just as good as the Tamiya stuff, but it's got like a name, like, makes me think of mushrooms, but I don't know why. I don't know why it does, but it does. Anyway, yes, so, a couple of things to remember. Don't forget, first of all, if you want to win the kit from this week's giveaway, which is that Hawk, I'll zoom out, hang on, which is the Hawk, 148 scale, Canada. Wait till this show is finished, give it 10 minutes, put a comment on this show's video, it'll be on my channel as normal, and I just want to know, give me an interesting and not necessarily accurate fact about Canada. That's all I need you to do, an interesting Canadian fact. And we'll pull the winner next week. Don't forget, of course, if you are a Patreon supporter, or if you'd like to be a Patreon supporter, I am giving away 4 of these, issue 1 of the Conquest, 10 quid's worth of plastic Space Marines, almost 10 quid's worth of paint, a shitty brush that nobody cares about, and the magazine with all the bits in there. I'm giving 4 of these away, 3 to non-UK Patreons. I'll say that again. 3 are going to non-UK Patreon supporters. So if you're on Patreon, if you support me on Patreon and you haven't noticed, get on there now. There's a post about 2 or 3 posts down on my main page with the video you need to watch, and it'll tell you what you need to do. I'll also give one away to a UK patron, just to be fair. So if you're a patron, why haven't you entered already? If you're not a patron, just pop along to patreon.com. Where's it gone? patreon.com/modelmakingguru. If you'd like to have a look and see. All support is gratefully accepted. You can support me for anything from $1 onwards. Sorry, $1 onwards, as much or as little as you'd like to support me with. All helps me keep this channel going, but I will be giving 4 of these away. Was there anything else? Don't forget, of course, eModels' live stream tomorrow night, Monday, 9 PM BST. It's a GMT then. 9 PM BST, although who knows whether that will all change with the BST stuff, with Europe changing all that now. Who knows? Who knows? That's me, Ted and Chris. Maybe Ted. Me, Chris, and maybe Ted tomorrow. I've got there will be a first video coming up, or a video coming up for the Strike Rouge Autori. I'm working on the first proper episode of that. Hopefully that should be up in the next few days. What else? That's about it as far as I can think of. I will catch you again. If I don't see you before next Sunday, I will see you next Sunday. But do take care of yourselves. Like I say, go on into the Patreon thing. I'm running out of words now. I'm really running out of words. So what we'll just say is, I'll just say, until next time, do take care of yourselves. Go make something awesome. Go be awesome. I'm not pressing the right buttons at all, am I? Go be awesome. And until next time, Adios, amoebas.